Well, why don't we get this show on the road, folks?
Let's do.
Sweet.
So, the last time we met, the Crown Collectors had taken on a bit of a boating tour across a unnamed lake north of the Caulded Stix in search of guidance from a benevolent or malevolent entity known only as Drelka the Bogmother. They had sought this person out for advice, guidance on whether or not a dragon could possibly be lairing somewhere in the vicinity, and any tips or tricks on how to deal with them. Your party managed to agitate some of the local fauna in the form of a giant crocodile and his little crocodile minions, but while being ferried across the small lake by the satyr known as Merrick, you managed to do it without sinking the boats completely.
Not completely.
Yeah. Limping along to the muddy, very sloppy shore, you kind of gathered yourself and took stock of your physical beings and checking how many holes you had in your body. You kind of collapsed on the shore of this island in the middle of the lake to the slow lapping of the water behind you, with Merrick kind of dragging his boat on shore and just sort of falling to his knees and rolling onto his back. And that is where we're going to pick up. Surrounded by swamp and sick and damp and water, your heads throb with the stress of what you just went through on the lake. The corpse of the red-tinged, scaled giant crocodile, now about 40 to 50 feet into the lake beyond, being slowly ripped apart by splashes and some sort of creatures inside the water, tearing it to shreds. You turn around and you see the jungle-like swamp, the sagging trees covered in vines and just buzzing of insects all over the place. You stand at the foot of the island in the middle of the lake. What would you all like to do?
Do you think we need to find some way to take a short rest before too terribly long?
That might be helpful.
Well, yes, I could definitely use a bit of a break. Patch up some of these wounds.
All right, so like right now, or do we want to get into the jungle a little bit?
Maybe we should go into the jungle and maybe look for some sort of shelter. Because if not, we might have to deal with more of these crocodiles or alligators or whatever.
If we find a spot, I can cast Tiny Hut as a ritual and give us kind of some guaranteed safety for 8 hours.
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
Well,
I will say that it is about midday, so I'm not going to grant you guys a long rest, being that you just woke up not 4 or 5 hours ago, and that's not really how long rests work. But I would definitely allow you the option of a short rest.
So we're gonna ignore that, and we're just gonna do a complete full 15 hours rest.
just sit in one spot and don't move. Don't concentrate on anything.
Exactly.
Respect.
Gain a level of monk.
so how's about we defend, until he's completed the ritual, and then we take ourselves a short rest.
Yeah, that sounds great. We only need like an hour or two.
So for 10 minutes, who is going to be helming the watch, so to speak?
Does somebody want to help me with perception?
I will.
I'll take advantage on perception.
Yep, go ahead and take a look around, make sure there's nothing scurrying in the bushes. Okay, so you don't see anything approaching from the shrubs or the bush. Now, mind you, you really can't see real far into the forest or the swamp, the swampy forest, as the trees and the bushes tend to overlap and sort of block your field of view any further than maybe 50, 60 feet further into the island. But above you, you do see more. Hold on. You do see more of these. And let's see here. I really wish that Discord would just let me go to a folder instead of scroll through all my pictures. Here we go. You see more of these flying overhead. They're about maybe 60 to 70 feet in the air. There's about 4 of them. And they're just slowly circling. And after about maybe 5 minutes of kind of he's got his knees in the muck and he's kind of doing his best to ignore the mosquitoes, which are tremendously annoying at this point. And casting his ritual, you see what you know now to be harpies. And these are not just regular harpies. These are twisted, mutated harpies. They look much more avian than they do humanoid, and even the avian qualities are so deranged and mutated from what you would typically assume to be a healthy-looking harpy. They've got, strange, scaly bodily features and crooked beaks, very vulture-like. They soon scatter, and Sazaros, while Axton is very busy keeping an eye on the harpies above, you notice something, actually many somethings, perched on the trees above you. And let me bring that up too. Come on. Oh, where is it? We'll say... There we go. More of these guys.
Nice.
It's a strange sight. It's covered in feathers as a vulture typically would, but from its neck to its beak, it's completely skeletal, with no eyes, but little tiny pinpoints of yellow light where the eyeballs would be in the sockets. There are about 4 of them, and they're not making any noise, but they are just looking right at all of you. And as the harpies seem to have scattered, you notice one of the vultures was looking up at them, and as they leave, it just kind of it returns its gaze to you guys. And it's about maybe 20, 30, they're scattered throughout the trees, but there's maybe 20, 30 feet away up in the trees from you.
Well, it doesn't look like these creatures want to attack us as yet. But maybe they're waiting for one of us to drop dead or something.
Or just keeping tabs on us for somebody.
I fear that you may be correct.
No, we're just gonna keep a watch on and hope the next couple of minutes go by quickly.
Indeed, they do. Axton is sort of pacing along the shore, keeping an eye out for whatever was attacking the corpse of the giant crocodile, and no movement towards the shore. It appears whatever was ripping the body apart seems to be busy or satisfied with that meal, so to speak. So you don't see anything approaching from the interior of the woods either, and then all of a sudden, boom, you see a dome of ethereal arcane energy form up around about 10 feet across. What would you like what color would you like the dome to appear?
like kind of a light green and brown, kind of like almost
Something to
camo.
maybe match the ground.
Yeah, kind of like camo.
Like a giant snot bubble. Got it.
Bright purple with flashing lights.
Free meal, free meal, free meal.
Disco ball.
It's a takeaway.
Well, your dome is all set up. Is there anything anybody would like to do either before or during this short rest? 'Cause it's going to be about an hour.
I'll use my song of rest during this.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
How much does that give us again? I always forget.
Song of rest. If any friendly creatures hear my performance regain hits, you can regain an extra 1d6.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure one of you guys healed me to begin with. According to my cheat, I'm all topped off. So thank you, random people who did that for me.
You're welcome.
I just healed 6. I'll use another.
Oh man. I overhealed. What a waste of hit die.
Never a waste. Ever. We never waste hit die. It all counts.
I used 2 hit die. And I gained 9 to 11, 12, 13, 16.
So then also during the short rest, like Olivia like unloosens like some of the belts like around like with on her very extremely baggy clothing, and just like stretches a bit as like her body enlarges and broadens and like muscularizes. And she takes the form of Daunt, which is like a somewhat medium-sized male figure, but a bit different from the first form. The first time they took the form of Dawn. This time, dark blue hair, and the skin looks as if it's got the appearance of it being frozen over, as if it's permanently like a frozen character. Yeah, this form seems a bit more appropriate for this swampish background. If we're about to fight some creatures or scare them off.
Oh, well, hello there.
How's it going, Edgar?
Well, if you truly wanted to scare them off, all you'd have to do is start singing.
Well, are they not a fan of music? Is that the case? I mean, I'm not the greatest of vocalists, but I don't know. We could try.
I'm just kind of giving a playful chuckle.
About this time, as you guys are sort of getting used to the new form that Dawn has taken, Axton, your keen sense is keeping track, just kind of in the back of your head, of these strange vultures in the trees, and a couple of them sort of spread their wings and flutter down to ground level. And with that real weird kind of hunched, creepy jackboot stepping that vultures do, they kind of creep. A couple of them creep their way over to the dome. They don't touch it. They don't get real close, maybe 5 or 6 feet away, and just sort of peer at it. And you notice there's quite a bit more vultures now. There's about 12 between the ones on the ground and the ones on the trees. They they're not making any aggressive movements towards you. but there are more of them, and a couple of them are getting a little close.
But just
Are
at
they
your notice,
surrounding?
right?
Are they surrounding the dome, or just like on one facet, one side?
Well, you guys didn't say per se how deep into the forest you were getting, so I'm assuming you guys are kind of like maybe 20, 30 feet away from the sloppy shore. And mind you, the shore is not really a shore as much as it's like little bits of exposed dirt from the water start to become more numerous. And then, I mean, it's just like it's all mud and muck and foot and a half to 2 feet thick sludge that you guys are currently sitting in. Like, you guys, by the way, you guys are filthy, top to bottom filthy. You're hot, you're cold, you're itchy, you're sweaty, you're uncomfortable. You know that feeling like if you've been to an amusement park and you've been at the water park, and then you go get out of it and your bathing suit's still wet, but you've been walking around, so you're chafing. Everything's sticking to you. You guys know that you each smell, and you smell different. So all these, it's just a very uncomfortable, kind of a miserable experience right now. And the distance from the shore is kind of difficult to make out, as there is a layer of fog that doesn't make it impossible to see. Like I said, about 50 to 60 feet away you can see pretty well, but there's just this haze that just hangs over everything. And from what you can tell, these vultures are kind of covering about a 1/3 to 1/2 section of this dome, and they are between you and going deeper into the woods.
I'd like to make an illusion. It's like a silent image of one of those large crocodiles like erupting out of the river, and then like scurrying quickly towards these vultures as if it's about to like lunge at them and eat them.
Okay, I don't think silent image can move unless that's like a warlock thing.
No, it can't. It can move.
It's just
Okay.
a certain distance, right?
Yeah, because it's not a minor illusion. It's like silent image. It's
You're doing silent image. Sorry, I was confusing that with minor illusion. My mistake. Okay, I want you to go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Cool.
So your crocodile pops out of the water, and these vultures just stare you down. They don't even look at the crocodile, and it just kind of phases right through them.
Now, point of order, they can't see through the hut to us.
Nope.
At least not physically.
You're getting the sense that they're looking at the dome in some way, either looking at where the middle of the dome would be, or they're looking at you. You don't really know.
Right. Okay.
But they're definitely not phased by this crocodile that has now like phased through them in an ethereal ghost way, and it just sort of does that alligator shimmy through the camp, and then just stops on the other side and just sort of looks in your direction like, now what?
Well, looks like we might end up having to kill us some vultures.
Whoa! Before we start going to more bloodshed, I got a hunch. Let me go. Let me see if I can have a conversation. All right. So I exit out, not completely out the back, but more to one side of the hut, and start to come around to where they are.
Okay, they keep their distance. They keep about 5 to 6 feet away. The ones that are on the ground, and mind you, there's only about 2 or 3 on the ground. When you start to move towards them, they take flight and go back into the trees.
Go back into the trees. Okay. All right. And I look over, and I'm looking up at the trees to the birds, and I say, "A fond greetings to all of you. If you be agents of Drelka, the venerable Bogmother, please let me know in kind."
No response. They just kind of, their heads just kind of go like this. They just kind of snap their head left, snap their head right, just kind of looking either at the whole scene or down at you. But you don't get any indication that they heard you or are responding to you or even understand you.
Fair enough.
Interestingly, being vultures, they're not making any like noises. Like vultures have a very stereotypical squawk that they usually just kind of chatter with each other about. These are not making any noise at all, other than like the rustling of their feathers when they're adjusting themselves on the branch.
Gotcha.
What you do notice, however, especially Axton, is he's now really, I'm sure, really scanning everything and keeping a close eye on everything. There's a large tree that's about maybe 20, 30 feet away. And you start to see vines curl up from the trunk, and leaves and flowers start to bloom. And over the course of about 10 to 15 seconds, the vines increase and form what look to be kind of an archway shape. And these vines just grow and thicken and multiply, and the flowers bloom on the edges. And all of a sudden, the middle of that archway splits, and there's a greenish blue light that emits from the middle of it. And out walks Koza.
Oh, hello, friends.
Well, well met, stranger.
Where'd you come from, man?
I had to take my leave to commune with a trusted entity to kind of feel out the situation we're in and what we're dealing with.
All right. Well, now that you've had your dandy communal activity, what sense have you made?
Well, when I went out there, I had a vision of just a landscape, almost a forestscape of twisted and mutated plant life that just didn't seem very natural.
And now you're living in it.
And now we're living in it, yes. But you know, as I began to scan my environment, I noticed these two sickly-looking eyes, and you know, as I stared back, I kind of felt drawn to them, and suddenly I was pulled out of my vision by something ancient, something old, and I just had the feeling that whatever those eyes were knew that I was looking, and I don't like the feeling that this place gives me. It doesn't feel right.
Going to club. But yet, here we are. Did the birds do anything? The skeletal vultures with Koza's arrival?
Make a perception check.
$22.
22. The birds, I would say this happened kind of adjacent to where they were. Mm-hmm. And with that roll, I would say that you definitely saw this happening, these vines forming this archway. You saw it happening, but you had the presence of mind enough to at least snap a glance at what the birds were doing. They were, I'd say half of them, a scattered number of them, were looking down at the tree, but there was a large number of them that were still kind of trained on you on the dome.
Okay.
But it seems like they probably noticed.
All right.
Shall we press
Did your
on?
vision give any counsel as to how to negotiate this situation? Talking to Koza.
Oh. Well, I should say
Koza, why don't you make a history check, Koza?
okay.
You got this, Cozy.
We have faith in you. Suspense is killing me.
Yeah, right.
Did you not hear me? Oh, I got a 9. I don't know if you guys heard me.
Did not.
Nope. You got a what?
A 9.
Okay.
Yeah, not great.
In regards
still have faith in you,
to the Bogmother, you did not see anything in your vision to clue you into the Bogmother's location or temperament. You've never heard, being that you've never been this far north of the Emperor's Highway, you've never had any relations with or correspondence with the Bogmother or anybody who's ever met with her. You did, however, in your brief separation from the group, out of curiosity, did kind of ask around, and all you could ever get from people were either grumbled, snide looks, or a warning to be respectful and polite.
Okay.
That's about all you get with a 9.
Gotcha. All right.
So what are our next moves from here?
I look out and get into the woods, and I say, to all denizens of this swamp, we come only to seek knowledge and sage counsel from the venerable Bogmother. If anyone out there can help in their charity and magnanimity lead us to her chambers, it would be most appreciated.
I'm going to use my Fearbog ability of Bespeak to translate all of that.
Into what?
Into
Animal.
into animal.
Vaguely animal language.
Be nice. Take us to old lady.
There is a rustling of leaves and wind that begins to change in pitch and tone into what sounds like the closest thing that you could attribute it to is a hushed and raspy
Good sign.
It doesn't sound like a laugh, but it's the closest thing that you can attribute it to, and it seems to drift because you know how with like kind of your natural echolocation you can tell which direction sounds are coming from. It feels like it's drifting further into the woods, and you then look up and see those vultures all take off from their branches and slowly, in scattering directions, take off in the general direction of ahead of you, in a north direction, further into the island.
All right.
I think we should just trudge on and try to do our best to look out for whatever the Bogmother is or wherever she may be located.
Yeah. Maybe follow this trail of
I'm
this
in complete
laughter.
agreement. Well,
Any idea on what to do with is Merrick tagging along with us, or is he going to be over here repairing the boat?
Well, currently Merrick is grabbing what looks like sticks and twigs and driftwood and kind of lashing it to the front of his boat as it took the crocodile took a sizable chunk out of the
Right.
out of the boat, and he that's what he's doing. You don't know his intentions as he's currently working away from you.
Can I see if he is trying to fix his boat?
No,
And
yeah,
if-
he is right now lashing little bits of twine and across sticks, and trying to kind of plug this large chunk that was bitten out of the front side of his boat. And right now he's just lashing sticks and rope to it.
All right.
Okay, would it look like he's going to be here a while?
I don't know. Do you have proficiency in boat repair?
I don't think
yes.
so.
You can make a straight intelligence check.
You
Does
could.
this guy speak
ask-
common? Yeah, I was gonna say, like.
Yeah, he
Does he
speaks
speak-
common.
Okay, yeah,
Yo,
I just
Merrick.
showed my phone. How long do you
Um,
think you're going to need for this?
He just kind of stops what he's doing, and you can see his hooves are sunk in. Like, obviously, he's a satyr. He's not built for mud. He has hooves, not feet. His feet are sunken into the mud about 2.5 feet, and he's just like every attempt for him to pull his leg out, and his other leg sinks in a little deeper, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be here a while. Can't imagine anything else will grab my attention, being that I own the boats that'll get us home."
The key word there being get us home.
Right, us, sure.
No, yeah. Get us home.
Right.
You don't intend on leaving us, do you, Merrick?
No I and team and all that.
Well, considering I've never been to the island and don't have any weapons to speak of, I don't really much see any sense in traversing the lake alone.
Good to know.
Glad we've come to this understanding.
That was slightly reassuring.
Yeah.
I find his answer vague and unconvincing.
He kind of grumbles and goes back to work.
All right.
Oh, let's go find us a Bogmother.
All right.
Yes.
Follow the
All right.
trail of that pectoral laugh.
So I am going to need a marching order, and I would like somebody or two of you to helm a watchful eye, as this definitely does not feel like a wholly welcoming environment.
Well, I can take the lead, I suppose.
I'll probably go right behind Axton.
And I can either do
I'll be-
perception or maybe survival.
Okay.
I'll try to stay somewhere around the middle.
All right, we'll say
Well, either that or
Sazerose.
Akir could take point. Or should
Well-
Akir pick up the rear?
Yeah, I guess you take the rear guard.
If you really
Well-
want me to be the last one to get stabbed, fine. I guess I'll do it.
Or you could be the first one, depending upon which way the opponent's coming.
That's true.
All a matter of perspective, man.
In that case,
I've
I
got
will
Axton,
bravely take up the
Koza,
rear.
Sazerose, and who's fourth?
I'll be fuck.
You know. Or, you know, go
Dawn.
after Dawn.
Dawn,
Cool.
Yuno, and Adgear. Perfect. All right, so I would like Axton and Atgear to both give me perception checks.
For you, I will do this.
Woo!
21. Not sure
Nice.
why I have this anticipation. Nothing.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, so we'll go with Axton first, as you are the lead. The first 10-15 minutes, and mind you, this did not look like when you guys approached and landed and had your time to rest, gather, especially you, Axton, who you're just constantly scanning everything for danger. This is not a small island. It's at the very least 5 to 6 miles across, and the beach, as it were, from the beach to the forest edge is probably about 30 to 40 feet, and then the swamp really starts to become dense. There's still plenty of pools of water along the ground. There's very slow-moving streams. There's rotten logs, mushrooms, vines, and webbing, and just shrubs that sprout from the ground. What you see directly ahead of you, Axton, is what looks like a large plant pod, and it is currently looks like it has green veins that run up the side of it, and it looks as if it would split right down the middle. And as you're approaching, you notice that there's something, either it itself or something on the inside is kind of wiggling and wriggling.
Gross.
Have I seen or do I know what this plant is before? Like, could I roll like a nature check to determine maybe this could be a man-eating or carnivorous plant?
Yeah, go ahead and make a nature check.
Can I help him with that?
Yeah, you're both. Yeah, you're right behind him.
Okay, I'll roll it at advantage.
Yep. Ooh, boy, natural
Oh, I'm
20s.
kidding.
You monster.
All the natural 20s out of the way. I like to see that.
Right before combat begins. Yeah.
Yeah. So, absolutely, Axton, you being a farmer, you've studied your fair share of exotic flora. You don't recall the name of this plant, but it is definitely a carnivorous plant, and it appears to have taken a meal.
Aw.
Oh boy.
Did we want to make like I let everybody else know to watch out that there are
Hmm.
carnivorous plants around here? Did you guys maybe want to see what it's eating, or
Yeah, maybe we should see. Maybe we might save this thing, and it might be internally indebted to us.
Or do we get
Or-
ingredients for a nice salad?
Yeah, either way, it's a win.
Or we could be internally indebted to the plant.
Hmm.
they could be safe, but we don't know.
Well, I will say with his 29 perception, Axton, you do see two other pods on either side of it, and they are splayed flat on the ground, split down the middle, with sort of a pink and orange coloration on the inside, with several rows of sharp thorns on the inside of it. So if you were to approach it, it's going to require a check to make sure that you don't step on any of those.
It'd be like an Iron Maiden coming on you.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Did we want to go around these guys, or should we just try to burn them?
Well,
No,
I'm
no.
gonna fire an
No,
Eldritch
I don't
Blast.
think fire would be a good idea in this place.
No.
I'm gonna fire an Eldritch Blast at the one that's holding something inside its mouth, like the one where there's like a wiggling thing from the inside.
You're going to attack it?
No.
Yes.
No.
No, we don't want to do
No,
anything antagonistic or aggressive.
But there's something dying there. We could save its life.
Well, we can't tell you what
Better
to do.
it than us.
Oh, okay. I guess like as Daunt's about to fire off an Eldritch Blast, the guys stop him and he's like, "Okay, fine. We may as well not start any fights out here. Wait. Can I use Awakened Mind to try to commune with the whatever's inside there?
Yeah.
Be like, hey, what are you in there? Are you okay?
What are you?
How exactly does Awakened Mind work again? Is there a way for you to
So
put
essentially,
that up?
oh yeah. Let me see if I can.
I just want to know if it allows me to respond in a certain way.
Okay, wait. I didn't paste the description in my character sheet, but essentially I can communicate simple thoughts and emotions to like any creature, but if it speaks if it has the capacity to speak a language, we can communicate even if we don't share a language. We can communicate via spoken, but let me just get a thing of it.
Oh, I'm looking at it.
Cool.
Okay. There is no response.
Well, it doesn't seem to be sentient.
Or alive.
Yeah, poor creature. But it's not our meal.
It's not one of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Better it than us. Let's move on.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's just leave that thing.
Okay, so I'll try to lead us around these guys. Try to avoid
Easy enough to do.
any type of combat.
You can do
All
it.
right. At gear.
Yeah.
As you guys approach, we're going to do a little bit of rewind here.
Oh boy.
As you guys approach this cluster of carnivorous plants, you can hear in the front of the group, which by now you guys are pretty spread out, about 3 or 4 feet between each of you. You can hear Axton saying something to the group about what's ahead. You notice the group stop, and as you're kind of keeping an eye out behind your shoulder, just kind of always looking over your shoulder in the back, you notice in the trees those skeletal vultures. About 2 or 3 of them are kind of hopping between branch to branch and keeping in pace with you guys.
Oh, I don't like that at all. Alright. I'm gonna whisper to the rest of the group, like the, who's in front of me right now? I forget.
That would be No.
No, you know. I'm just gonna go up to and whisper. Right, so those bony buzzards been following us. Pass it along, will ya? Then I'm just gonna go back, pretend like I didn't notice them.
Then goes up to Daunt, who's in front of him, and says something about bony birds, butterball. Not sure what Akir mumbled. So it gets all kind of blended, but he kind of like passes it along to Daunt and is like, pass it on.
By the time it gets to action, it's going to be like, what? Owner?
This is gonna be a game of telephone.
Well, as you see the vultures keeping pace, wading through the stinking, rotting bog, you find the puddles and pools beginning to join and intersect, forming a network of small bodies of water, interspersed with fallen trees and decayed logs covered in festering ivy and moss, with a haze of fog and clouds of gnats and huge mosquitoes that buzz around your heads and harass you at every turn. The trees in this space are tall and sag with vines and strings of moss that connect their canopies, as you can see several small animals flitting in and out of the foliage above you. Woodland creatures, none of them look very friendly. I need everybody, and I mean everybody, to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Also want to remind you, Joe, that we've been using prestidigitation to make a smell to drive away some of the insects.
That lasted about an hour.
Okay.
That was that ended after your short rest.
Okay.
I'm going to use a diabardic inspiration to help out.
Okay.
All right, so at 8 total.
Okay. And what about And okay. And Koza, what'd you get?
I got a 17.
Oh, you got a 17. I see that.
Yeah, con
I'm
ain't my
missing.
strong suit, as clearly evident.
I'm missing Rish. Rish, you need one too. Hello, Rish.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Oh, he just hopped off the chat. There he goes. Hey, Rish, you there? Oh no, we lost our warlock.
technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Well, that's okay. We'll get it in a bit. It's not super important right now, anyway. So the thick flora whips at your legs. You trudge through the sloppy, soggy water up to your knees with a cold sweat about your brows. The crickets and peeper frogs in this area, they grow slightly quieter as you traipse through the thick mud until, after about an hour or so, you notice that the animals and insects in the swamp have all but disappeared. It's weird. You feel like you should have noticed this earlier, but as you look around, yeah, you find the swamp is eerily silent here. No birds, no bugs, no rodents in sight or sound. Nothing but the creaking of your clothing and armor and the wet squishing of your footsteps.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
Quiet.
And that's when you see it. About 50, 60 feet further into a particularly dark and dank corner of the Caulded Stix, nestled between the fallen trunks of two massive trees, you see a leaning, peaked, shadowy structure. At least 25 to 30 feet tall, made of logs and bark lashed together with vines and swamp material. A hulking cabin with layers of moss and lichen on its roof. It sits ominously under a thin ribbon-like spray of sunbeams that pierces the treetops above and bathes the structure in a greenish-yellow light. A dim candlelight emits from a jaggedly built window, and strings of skulls, bones, feathers, and other odds and ends drape across the doorway like a warped and crooked set of curtains in front of the hut. And it looks like this.
Honey, we're home.
You said we're about 50 feet away.
50 to 60.
Okay. Just give me 1 second to look for the spell I want to cast.
Hello, Baba Yaga.
Okay. I cast Find Traps, which has a range of 120 feet.
Find traps. Let me see that spell. Let me see. Oh, wow. This is like the most useful spell ever. So what your spell gives off is this wave, this pulse that just sort of permeates. Only you can see it, but it permeates this perimeter that expands in all directions, and it gives off little blips and little glowing little blips here and there all over this terrain.
Okay.
You don't exactly know what these devices or arrangements can do or would do, but you definitely get the sense through your spell that there is sort of like a natural tension built into whatever they are that if triggered would spring something that could harm you. Some of the closer ones are about maybe 20 to 30 feet away from you, and you can definitely feel like there's some like sharpened sticks that are underneath some collection of leaves and such.
Alright, I just look to the rest of the party and just say, watch your steps.
I am going to move all of you over here. If you guys would like to place your minis somewhere here. Somewhere down here at the bottom of the map. And close together, if you wouldn't mind. You there, Rish?
Hey, yeah, I'm not sure why, but like my PC Discord just isn't working, so I'm just using my cell phone now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to need you to roll a Constitution save. You missed that bit. And are you unable to interact with roll 20?
No, like my roll 20 is fine. I can.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and put yourself on the map.
Cool.
All right.
Wait, where are you guys? Oh,
They're down here.
over there.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, this is the scene. What would you guys like to do? You have discovered, through the use of Koza's trap finding awesome magic spell, that there is something funny over here. There's something funny over here. And there's something funny over here that you probably want to stay away from.
Well,
I don't know if we have any capability of, I don't know, disabling these traps.
Well, I could give it a look. See.
Oh yeah, we do have a road, don't we?
For the moment, at least. So Ankir's gonna go over there and very carefully and stealthily see if he can figure out what's going on with this trap. At least he knows where it is now.
It's actually over here.
At least he knows where it is now.
I do that.
Go ahead and make an investigation check with your thieves' tools. Actually, I would say, unless Koza goes with you, you're going to have to make a perception check to even find it.
I can go with him.
13.
All
Oh,
right,
Cozy, you're
then-
coming? Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll. Okay, so if you're coming, he's going to point out exactly where it is. So you can go
Exactly.
ahead and
Investigation
roll.
it is.
You can either use that 6 towards an investigation or just re-roll it. I don't care.
Okie doke. Re-rolling. Yes, the mighty 14.
Yay.
Is that with your thieves' tools?
That was my investigation. I
Yeah,
mean,
go
it's
ahead
the same modifier for Thieves' Tools, 5 and 5.
Okay.
So either way, it'd be 14.
So yeah, it's very rudimentary. What you find is kind of like it looks like a some dead plant material that's sort of soaking in a small puddle, and you kind of brush that away, and you can clearly see a collection of thorns that have been embedded on a stick, and that stick is actually buried in the mud about 3 feet away to a spot where you literally just stepped next to it, but if you had stepped on the back of it, it would have flung it up like a rake in the middle of your yard and slammed somebody in the face.
Ouch.
And
that doesn't
there's
sound fun.
there's really nothing here to disarm. It's literally just a stick sitting in the mud, and just so happens where, you know, if you had stepped on it in the wrong way, it could pop up and hit you in the face. So the best you can do to disarm it is really just to kind of like take the stick and break it over your knee.
Well, I mean, if that's what I have to do, I will do so. Alright, pay attention. This is an immensely complicated procedure. And then
Just so you guys are aware, this whole area is, it doesn't look it, but this whole area is populated by trees all over. Like, this is not a stump, it's actually a tree. This is a tree. There are trees everywhere, very close, rather close together. The densest it gets around here is they're 10, 15 feet away from each other. There's pools of water, there's moss, there's vines, there's ivy, there's mushrooms. It's just, and all of this terrain is wet mud.
Cool. Any fruit-bearing trees or anything like that I might be interested in taking a scraping from?
Make a you're pretty observant. Make a perception check.
Normal perception.
29.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
you You take a quick scan. There are no fruit-bearing trees. However, all of these mushrooms, you can tell immediately they are edible.
Cool. I'll take a few.
Yeah. You can add handful of edible mushrooms to your inventory, and you can just treat that handful as a ration if you'd like. If you're so inclined. That's about how much you gather. I will have you place yourself elsewhere on the map, though, if you're going to do that.
Okay. Where's my notes?
That's fine. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll
What do we
just
do?
be like walking with him.
That year is gonna be like, right, so are we do we want them to know we're coming or do we not?
Hmm.
I
Well,
imagine they already know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the point is a bit moot. We may as well just
Well, then
go to the point.
I think we should make ourselves look non-threatening so as to, keep everyone calm.
Right. Smiles on, and Akir tries his best to put on a reassuring smile. It is not particularly convincing.
I'm going to have you make a performance check with disadvantage. No, I'm kidding.
So this apparently is the way to go now.
Well, I mean, let's head on forward.
Right.
Okie
Akir's gonna
dokie.
keep on pushing.
Right up to about here. I think this was the way we cleared out. Okay.
Approaching the cabin, you see the waters around it are still and festering with stagnant foam at its edges and green slime climbing up the puddle walls. As you draw closer, you hear above your head the squawking of crows and vultures, and watch as a couple of them drop something into the water. You can't tell what it was. Were they nuts, insect larvae, small bits of root material? But as you wonder, you see a tangle of vines and plant material begin to twist and slop out of a pool, gathering grass and mud along the way. And behind your party, you hear a slimy, wet, slithering sound.
Oh no.
Turning to face the noise, you find yourself at the base of a rising, tubular brown creature with rows of long teeth around a circular mouth at the top of the creature's featureless head. And then you see another rise out of the muck about 20 or 30 feet away. And behind you, another mass of plants coalesce into a vaguely humanoid shape. The entities screech and flex and slink towards you wordlessly. I need everybody to roll initiative as you face these creatures.
Whoa.
Yuck!
Oh, did we get any bardic inspiration previously?
I have not
Don't
rolled
think
that
so.
out yet.
Got it.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, Jesus.
Somebody put a copyright claim on my choice of battle music. Oh no. Oh, what shall I do? What shall I do?
Play with the bodies at the floor or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
Good Night,
Yeah, I guess
Saigon
we'll-
by Billy Joel.
That's okay.
We shall all
We
go
do.
down together.
We could all make our own music.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's a little more epic than needed because these are just simple creatures, but we'll make do.
Or it could be the Van Gill thing.
Sure.
All right, let's put some creatures on the field, shall we? There is one here.
Ew.
There is one here.
Oh wow,
And-
that's really far away.
this creature has swelled and grown and moved towards you there, as has this one.
Man, that thing is so hard to see.
That's the point. Here, we'll put it right there. Okie dokie. We're going to give them. Aha!
Look how I should have done.
Nice.
Dang it. I'm mean and believe. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What the hell? What? That's your fifth nat 20 you rolled in this session.
It's okay.
Ooh, nice.
Well,
An
not
animal.
actually my initiative. My actual initiative is only 4.
Oh.
Holy crap. Axton, why does it only say 4.1? Are these old numbers?
Yeah, 4.1 is my original number that I rolled for initiative.
Why'd you roll twice?
Because it wasn't on the board.
Can you
Oh.
add to the turn order? It won't let.
Sure. There you go.
Did you add Koza too?
Sure. Where is Koza? Oh, there you are. Oh no, that's Olivia. Where are you?
Hang on.
No, where's your guy?
Right here.
Oh. Your druid
That's
clothing
also
blends you into the
interesting.
swamp
Yeah.
perfectly.
Stop the cannon.
Okay. Hold on. You're right in front of it. There you go. Okay. Axton, are you unable to affect your initiative?
I already updated my initiative to 4.1.
To 4.1?
Yep.
Oh. Why did you roll? I'm just curious why you rolled twice and got a nat 20.
Well, I rolled twice because it still didn't go onto the turn order. So I clicked on my character and then rolled again, and then it added to the turn order.
Ah. Okay.
Then I manually updated it.
Gotcha. Alright, well, let's get started here. First up is this twisting, gnarled mass of vines, mud, sticks, twigs. There's a couple of logs in there. It looks like perhaps it's just oozing and dripping with water. It's going to shamble its way. Oops. There we go. It's going to mosey its way on over here to Axton. Alright, so it's going to actually just kind of lunge forward at you, Axton. You must succeed a Constitution saving throw. Alright. So the vines and root material and mud just sticks to your armor, and it starts to actually surround you with its mass and grabs you and pulls you into its central body. And actually what you can see is this weird green, veiny, pulsing, heart-like organ at the center where you're being shoved into it. You are currently blinded and restrained. Yep, and you take wow, 12 points of bludgeoning damage. It just squishes you. You can feel the armor or the metal of your armor starting to creak and almost bind and get to the point where you're fearing it might crack or break. So you are all up in it. I'm gonna just have it be like that. And Yeah, you are netted. That's a good one. Looks like a net or a jellyfish. And that's going to end its turn. Nope, it's not Olivia's turn yet. Hold on. Where's the other mound that I made almost impossible to see? There it is. Yeah. This guy. He's going to move towards Yuno at a speed of, ooh, wow, big 20. So we're going to say he moves here. And can do absolutely nothing because he doesn't have the reach. So it is now Daunt's turn.
Cool. So then he's going to summon his putrid undead.
Okay.
Like over there.
And what form do you want the putrid undead to be? Pretty gross, kind of gross, bloated.
Bloated sounds good.
All right. Where do you want him?
Just over there.
Got it.
Cool. And then I'll be like, Jelly, get that worm-like creature. And Jelly 5 up, 4, 9 to hit.
9 to hit. That does not hit.
Okay,
Jelly's little toothpick just kind of bounces right off of its fleshy hide.
Okay, then I'm going to make an attack with the bloated undead. 15. 18 to hit?
That does hit.
Okay. That is 1d6.
And what are you firing at it? You're doing your Eldritch Blast?
Oh no, that's the putrid undead is just hitting it with its rotted claw.
Oh, he's just slamming it.
Yeah.
Got it.
5 damage. And that's the end of Dawn's turn.
Yeah, Axton, you're absolutely right. Let me just do that. That's going to be a contested strength check. Let's do it. Me and you, right now. That's a 17 plus 4, 21.
Strength check or strength save for me? What is it?
You can do a saving throw, yeah?
Cool.
Yeah, the engulf remains.
Okay. I just know that mounds normally can only engulf when they make 2 melee attacks.
Yeah. Well, it just has to grapple you. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Double checking.
I'm gonna spare you the multi-attack and just go for the engulf.
Sure.
All right. Rish, are you having Daunt do anything else besides direct his zombie?
No, that's the end of his turn.
Okay. You are up.
Alright, Yuno's gonna start by using his movement. He's gonna move 30 feet to here. And then he's gonna, as a bonus action, cast Misty Step, which gives him another 30 feet. So he's going to kind of just teleport right to the edge of this log here. And then gonna go with Firebolt on this guy right here.
Mr. Wormy Face, which is now his canonical name.
11.
11 does not hit. His glance is off. All right. It is the Mudworm's turn. This guy right here. He is going to take a bite action at Atgear.
Wait, at the start of each turn, you need to make a save or be poisoned.
No effect.
Oh, good.
Does that affect your friends, by the way? What is the range on that stench?
It's a 5
thingy?
foot.
Okay.
5 foot radius.
Yeah, you notice that this thing does not seem to be affected by the stench cloud surrounding your zombie whatsoever.
Man.
And that is a 12 to hit you, Atgear.
Not a chance, not a chance.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
I want to miss? Damn. Alright.
Okay, so what happened was it went to bite you and kind of got in your space, and as you were able to dodge really well, but you notice your feet are kind of sticky right now, and everywhere that this worm is moving, it's leaving behind this thick, viscous, sticky, nasty, mucus-like fluid on the ground that is now completely covering your feet. So until the end of your next turn, where you move out of melee range with the worm, you are at half speed.
Dragon. Half speed.
So we'll say these generic little thingies. I guess this one's like you're slow or something. Until the end of your next turn, I should say.
Gotcha.
This guy right here is going to... You see him disappear.
I see.
Well, I shouldn't say you see him disappear. You see him, like, dive into the mud. And he is going to use... yeah, definitely. You see him pop up right here. Oh, shiza. Get out of here. Go away. Come on. Let me hold it. Oh, that's why. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he comes up and pops right out next to you. And he is going to attempt a bite attack. That's a natural 16. That's a 22.
Hold, please. What's
I'm
doing
going to
that.
use a reaction as he attacks to try to use cutting words.
Okay.
So as he goes to make his attack, I just yell out, it's like, there is no beholder's eye on which you are beautiful.
I wonder if the creature you attack that with needs to be able to understand a language, though.
Nope. Nope.
Wow.
Well, what does cutting words do? Does that reduce...
It reduces
anything?
damage. Yeah, it just reduces damage.
Just damage, but not
Hold
the...
on, I think you may be able to reduce the attack. I'm not 100% sure.
I think you can choose. I think so. I think the bard can choose if he wants to reduce the 2 hit or the damage.
Well, if it's the to hit, that may change what does next.
I can...
You can choose after the creature makes its roll, but before the DM determines whether the attack roll or ability check succeeds or fails.
Yeah, it just subtracts from his roll, from his to-hit roll.
Okay, so what did you get?
Let's see. Rolling a bardic inspiration die.
3.
So he'll take 3 off.
So that's 19. 19 still hits you, right?
Hold on. 5. So, yeah, because even if you cast shield, he would still be at 19, so it would hit him no matter what.
All right.
Well, I tried.
I appreciate it.
Well, you're shouting at a worm, Sazaros. They don't exactly get offended by stuff.
Right.
So that's going to be 8 points of piercing damage. I need you to make a con save and a dex save.
Con's gonna be 14. And Dex is also gonna be 14.
Hold, please. I accidentally deleted my guy. He was in the turn order. Okay, you got a 14 on both?
Yep.
Okay. You are good. However, you are at half movement because you are covered now head to toe with this thick, snot-like mucus that's just oozing off the creature's body, especially off where it's connected to the ground.
How many points of damage did I take?
You took 8 of piercing damage.
Alright, so that comes off my arcane ward. Well, I have to do math. Oh no, it does it for me. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. And I have half movement speed?
Yeah. Until the end of your next turn if you move outside of its range. So that is Koza. You are next, Koza.
Okay, so I am going to, as a bonus action, I believe. Yes. I'm going to cast Shillelagh on my quarterstaff, which lets me use my strength modifier. It lets me use my spellcasting ability instead of my strength modifier for a melee attack. And
right on.
And then I'm going to cast Conjure Animals and bring back Chunky Boy.
Chunky Boy!
And I want to put him right.
Where is Chunky Boy? I don't think I saved him. Oh, that's cool.
That should be the file name, Chunky Boy.
Yeah!
Oh, I hope I find him again, because I have to look for him on the web.
Oh boy.
Let me see here. Is this him? Yay!
Yay! Chunky Boy! Okay.
We're still keeping him large, even though he's small.
Yeah. And then, do you want me to roll initiative for him, or do you want me to just use my initiative?
That's a good question. I would say, yeah, you can just, I group together my NPCs and enemies just so I don't have 15 different initiatives. So you can just roll him, or you can just have him move and do stuff when you do.
So, for his action, I'm going to have him attack Lay Worm.
Okay.
Or he's going to use a bite attack.
Yummy.
Ooh, that's very good. 23.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
And
He's biting it?
He is biting it.
I'm gonna need a con save from him then.
Oh boy. Let me roll damage and then I'll give you that con save. So that's 6 points of piercing damage, and he got a 5 on it. His Constitution save.
Alright, Chunky Boy's poisoned.
Oh no!
Sorry.
Not my Chunky Boy!
He is not feeling good after that bite.
Oh no. Alright, that'll end my turn.
Alright, it's at gear next with Sazaros on deck.
Alright. Atgear's gonna do what he does best, and he's just gonna get in there and get to work stabbing.
Cool.
Alright, let's see how he does. And
Don't forget, Atgear, I don't know if you... This isn't going to affect anything that you're doing right now, but you are exhausted right now.
oh, so I have disadvantage on skills,
Ability
right?
checks.
Ability checks.
Yeah.
Right.
You have been since you got here, since you left.
Let me write that down.
Yeah.
E for exhausted. All right. Short sword attack. This should just be normal. Yeah. 15 to hit.
15 does hit.
Fantastic.
Hold on a minute. Nope.
Uh-oh.
It just doesn't hit. Sorry.
And dagger attack. 14. Also not good.
Nope, not so great.
Uh-oh. Well, it's my turn, boys. Good luck.
Sazaros, you're up. Axton, you are last on the list.
All right, so aiming towards Le Worm, I will go ahead and cast Dissonant Whispers.
That's a wisdom check.
That is
I'm
a wisdom
mistaken.
saving throw, right?
Wisdom save, my mistake. That's not good. Ooh, that's a natural 19, but they're not very wise at all. That's -4. That's a 15.
Spell save DC is 15.
Ooh! Lucky roll.
So you succeeded. You take half of 3d6 psychic damage.
Cool. As you strum your mandolin, these purplish notes sort of waft and float through the air in a tornado-like fashion that surround the worm and impact where you assume its brain could be. Did you roll for that?
Oh, snap. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We're all getting back in the swing of things. 10.
So half of 10, 5.
5. Got it. Got it. Anything else?
I am going to move back just a hair.
It gets a natural 1 with its attack of opportunity, and I'm going to need you to make a strength save.
You got a natural 1?
Well, you moved away from his melee range, so he took an
Yeah.
opportunity of attack and he got a nat 1. But you
Okay,
still
cool.
need to make a strength save.
Nine.
Right. Yeah, you're
Very
now
good.
at. You've been you've been enraptured with its mucus-like, membranous kind of fluid that's just sort of slopping on the ground all around it. And as you go to leave, your foot kind of sticks a little. So you're until the end of your next turn, you are at half speed.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? That's it, right?
As returned.
Axton Woodman Bloom, you are engulfed within this thing and restrained. Make your strength save.
Why do I make a strength save again?
You gotta bust out of there, baby.
Just because I'm restrained doesn't mean I can't make it past.
I
think
didn't
that has zero
understand what you
movement.
said.
Wah, 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 wah.
You're blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe.
Restraint means you have disadvantage on attack.
I
Grappled
have-
means you're free.
I just had this is in.
Oh yeah,
Anyway, because
That's
I'm
true.
blinded.
Yeah, no,
come on,
So
roll
wait,
well.
Do you have double disadvantage?
Literally, literally engulfing you. I don't know how you would miss if it's engulfing you,
Well,
but we'll see.
we'll see. So let me just take a look here. On the disadvantage, we'll roll that. Click. Hold on, I'll use my precision attack. I will do 8.
And you have superiority die equal to your level, right?
No, it's only 4 ever.
It's what?
Only 4.
Oh. Okay.
So that'd be 14 to hit.
The Shambling Mound. I don't. Nope, that's not enough.
Yeah, I know. I use my
Yeah,
second attack.
your halberd just sort of stuck in the vines. You don't really make purchase with that swing.
23 to hit.
Ooh. Oh, you're using your greatsword. Fair
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that one definitely hit. Yeah, your first swing kind of got caught in the vines. You kind of pull it free and just sort of smash it as hard as you can, hoping you'll hit something of value within the mass of plant material. You got it, man. That's a natural 11 plus 4 is 15.
Let me see what my DC, I believe, is 15.
But that's an extra 4. So that's 18 total, correct?
Yeah, 18 damage.
Right on. Okay.
Okay, I will use my action search.
Burn it.
16 to hit.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. 15 more slashing. Holy moly.
Actually, I'm going to use another one of my tricks.
Okay. And that is a natural 9 plus 4, which is 13. Not gonna do it. So he falls prone with you inside of it. Which is a weird thing to conceive of in physics. You hit it and knocked it over and it falls
I'm
over.
not sure, do I get another attack where I just use my action surge? Because I have extra attack whenever I take the attack action.
You get an extra action.
So I guess so.
I think it's just an attack action. Let me make sure about that. I believe it is one additional.
Because if it's one additional action and he gets multiple attacks per action, then he gets multiple attacks.
From my knowledge, that's how it works.
Yeah. Let's see here. No, I don't care about level 20 fighter. Those people are nuts. Action surge. Surge. Here we go. One additional action on top of your regular action, and a possible bonus action. Once you use this, yeah, I'm gonna call that 2 more attacks, Barry.
Cool. Well,
I mean, that would that's kind of the point of being a fighter.
Yeah, that's their big perk, being able to use all
17 to
crap.
hit.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. It is prone, so your disadvantage, I think, goes away.
Right.
But
Although
he has double
wouldn't I be
disadvantage.
prone
This
with
is
it
also
then?
blind.
It doesn't stack. So, like, if you have more than one source of disadvantage or advantage,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
at least have one of each, it just becomes flat.
Yeah. Okay, doke.
13
That's
plus
one attack.
No, that was it. That's all 4 of my attacks in total. I missed with the
Bam,
first one. I
bam.
hit the last 3.
Bam, 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 bam. Got it. Got it.
I'm just trying to
All
decide
right.
if I want to use another one of my superiority dice. Give me a second here.
Your
Sure.
third.
My third
And what are you doing with it?
menacing attack.
Oh, okay. Check something. It is not immune to being frightened, which is really funny because it's got a 5 intelligence. Alright, that's a wisdom save. That is a 3. It is afraid of you and eating you at the same time.
But any attack that tries to make against me from the future, as long as they can hit me, are at disadvantage.
Yep.
And it can't move towards me. So I guess it can't stop pulling me towards it. I don't know. We'll see.
That's weird. That's really strange that, well, it's already near you. It's already, it's surrounding you. You're inside of its, like, stomach, I guess you could
Would you be
call
trying
it.
to push it out then?
Well, with that kind of attack, it hit for 3. I think you hit it for 3. I'm going to allow you a free action of making a strength saving throw to get out.
Be 20. I don't think I'm at disadvantage for that.
No, I don't know. Yeah, you might want to fix that in your character sheet.
I just
So
I
it's
just
not
didn't
as
click
confusing.
the toggle for normal.
Oh, got it.
Also,
Yeah.
eventually back.
All right. Yeah, a 20 will do it. You kind of push your way out of a few layers of these vines as they struggle to wrap around your legs on your way out. And you're still within its space, but you are not technically engulfed by it right now.
Use my bonus action. Use my second wing.
Okie doke. Let's see here.
I
Where's
gained 15 hit points on next turn.
Cool.
And my turn.
All right. It is the Shambling Mound's turn. It is going to attempt to strike at you at disadvantage, as it is scared of your little armored self. Ooh, natural 1 and an 8, so we're going to call that a failure. But it gets 2 of those. So let's try that again. Much better. 14 plus 7. So that, I'm going to say that's a 21. That hits you.
That's at disadvantage, right? Cool.
And that's 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And you need to make another con save.
Why is it trying to grapple me again?
Oh yeah.
You only do that if both hit.
I don't think that's how that works. Oh, you're right. If both attacks hit. Okay, you're good then. That's right. This one, however, is going to... How much can they move? Not very much. This one over here is going to move... 20. And what is its range? Nope. It's stuck right where it is, behind you. But you notice another one is coming at you. That's going to end its turn. At this point, I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw. Oh boy. So that's Axton, Sazaros, Daunt, Koza, and who are we missing? Atgear. I need you to make a wisdom save.
No.
Oh, wow. Everybody but you feel your bodies lock up. You cannot move. You are all held in place. Except for Dang it! All of you are held. And as this happens, you notice that this worm retreats.
Uh-oh.
into the mud.
Get him!
You're more than welcome to make an opportunity attack if you wish. This one retreats into the mud.
Cast Prestidigitation to clear the brown stains off of his pants from watching everybody get frozen.
The plant material. The plant material that was harassing Axton shrinks and shrivels. Let me do something here. And go to okay. All right. As you stand, stock still in place, you see the vines of the shambling mounds start to loosen and kind of disapparate from each other and slink into the shrubs and bushes and completely disappear. The worms are gone. They've dove into the mud and the pools of water and disappeared. You are all now alone in the forest. You are the only one who is free to move. Everyone else is stocked still in place. Let me see. Yeah.
Yuno's gonna
go ahead.
Yuno's gonna cast Detect Magic and see if I can notice if everybody being frozen is caused by some sort of spell.
What is the range of your Detect Magic?
Within 30 feet of me.
30 feet of you? You can definitely tell that Atgear and Koza and Chonky Boy are frozen by a spell. And nope, that's it. Something is holding them in place.
All right, hold, please.
Something of an arcane nature.
Does not have enough to save everybody.
That's fine. You just save the ones that are important. The ones you like the most.
Yes, that's
the
a
ones
sign
you can
everyone
actually
to point
see.
Teleports and disappears, leaving everybody alone in the woods, unable to move with giant worms. Let's pick the two most useful. I'm going to try to dispel magic on Koza. Koza first. A spell of 3rd level or lower automatically ends. If it's higher, then I would have to make a check.
Well, as you do that, you notice the arcane energy leave your fingers, and that energy is negated and disappears.
Did someone counterspell
You hear the surface of one of the nearby pools of water. We'll say this one. Oh, that's not We'll say this one. You see the surface of one of the nearby pools of water ripple and shake until the faint outline of a nude humanoid female, possibly human or elven, with pale green skin, long brown straight hair, rises out of the water and regards you all. She begins to step in between your held forms, first between Koza and then Daunt, and just tiptoes her way over to where Atgeir is standing and looks right at Yuno with a smile across her face. Her light footsteps on the mossy ground sink into the muck a bit as she tiptoes between you all. You notice an iridescent sheen about her, glittery, but also hints of wrinkles and odd cracks at the joints that phase in and out of view just under the skin. Her eyes dart about you, wild and wide, with rings of red and yellow around her black irises. A sourceless voice breaks the creepy silence that comes from every direction in this area. A young, innocent-sounding woman's voice enters your thoughts. Why did you come here? Did you come to kill the Bogmother? Like all the others? And this echo just roils around the swamp, and you look about and notice now rows of skeletal remains impaled on shaved wood spikes strewn about the cabin's foundations. Humans, orcs, gnomes or halflings, and many others festering in various states of rot and decay are all being actively picked at by several skeletal vultures.
Oh boy.
Do you wish her dead like they did?
No, we just come with questions and advice and help.
Well, as you look back at where she was, you see the top of the woman's head disappear under the water of a nearby pool, and you are all released from the hold spell. You shake it loose, feeling somewhat violated and in your restraint, but also a powerful feeling of authority over you. The gentle, innocent... Go ahead.
I immediately cast Protection from Poison on Chalky Boy.
Protection from poison?
Yeah.
Okay. He kind of pukes up what was in his mouth from biting that worm, and he looks at you and looks to feel much better. At this point, the gentle, innocent-sounding voice shifts in tone down into a cackling, raspy screech that pierces your ears like crackling ice and slithering slime in a twisted, disturbing tone that turns your stomachs instantly. Who are you, such tasty treats that stumble onto my lands? You can hear something sniffing in the air. Oh, such juicy, healthy meat. Such valiant heart. Would make a delicious stew. A boiling brew made of you. The laughter echoes and reverberates off the dozens of trees and boulders surrounding the hut. As you look about you to find its source, you hear the rapid flapping of bird wings, and you notice a cluster of vultures and crows amassing above you in the trees. As the swirling mass of wings and feathers gathers speed and density, they at once burst into a cloud of falling feathers. And there, up in the branches, where they were, you can now see a hulking, cloaked humanoid. What you see is... come on now. This. You take a moment studying this creature. Difficult to make out physical details. You can clearly see the yellow, dull, glowing eyes of someone staring down at you and clutching what appears to be a knurled staff of rotting, mossy wood adorned in feathers and bones that dangle from the staff's human skull headpiece. She leans down a bit to further inspect your group, and the light in the swamp dims slightly as you feel her gaze pierce through your bodies and spirits, leaving you all terribly unsettled. Who are you? What do you want?
Okay. I'll start to speak up, and Venerable Bogmother, we are but humble travelers known as the Crown Collectors. We come seeking your wise counsel on the topic of dragon whereabouts.
Questions. The meat has questions. Drelka answers questions, oh yes, but not for free. What does the little creatures offer for answers?
Favor?
What does Drelka value? What would Drelka value as payment?
You see the cloaked figure's eyes flash just for an instant, and a mass of vines and leaves grow around her and snap around her like a carnivorous plant. And just as quickly, the vines drop, the space where she stood now empty. In an instant, the same mass of vines form in front of you and quickly drop, revealing the creature now standing before you. She is tall, towering over everyone, even Koza and Sazaros. As she hunches down, leaning on her staff, she regards your simple words with stinking breath and rakes her tongue over her lips. You can now faintly see an old woman's wrinkled and scarred face under the shadows of her moldy burlap cloak. She begins sniffing the area around you and drifts over to Atgeir.
You do carry something of value.
Starts to sniff around your satchel.
Something taken, in anger. Vengeance. Something festering within your things. What is it?
And she's just standing in front of you, Atgeir.
And just out of curiosity, do I no longer have that badass scimitar of throat cutting, right?
Nope.
And I'm gonna show her my black steel daggers.
You are correct.
You see her kind of.
You are the Crown Collector.
You see her kind of look at your daggers, and you can't see her face. You can vaguely see little shapes of her cheek or a nose or a wart on the side of her nose, but you don't actually get a good look at her face, but you can see her visibly look beyond your daggers and just sort of staring at your satchel, and you can hear drool forming.
Today, I'm going to open up the satchel and start going through all the collected heads. I believe I still have the severed head of that dwarf.
Yes, so tasty. A head taken from the unwilling.
She takes the head in her hands.
We'll make a delicious stew. A boiling brew made of you.
She looks at all of you and straightens up, growing a foot taller than she was.
Come inside. You'll be more comfortable inside. The sweat and slop of the Stix can be a bit taxing on those unaccustomed to the swamp. Do not worry, you will be safe in my home. I give you my word as Bogmother.
Is reliable.
She starts to kind of shift and slink her way towards the cabin entrance.
Seems legit. Let's go.
Can I roll an insight check to see if I
Don't
believe
go
her?
wrong.
Yeah, you may definitely roll an insight check.
Can I do the same?
Yeah, sure. You can both do it, or one can do it at advantage.
You can do it at advantage.
Okay. Ooh. 18.
18. Okay. While you've never met this person, you definitely can feel not evil, but a power associated with this person. A will and a kind of a sense of morality that differs from your own. You don't get the sense that she's lying, but you also get the sense that if she wanted to, she could snap her fingers and cut you in half and eat your pick her teeth with your bones. But at the present moment, you feel that she was telling the truth, that you would be safe inside of her house.
Just a quick question. Would her energy be at all familiar, like, say, from my vision?
You definitely feel a familiar kind of residue, arcane residue, the nearer you get to her as she walked in between you, especially when she was beautiful and, walking in between you guys, you felt this surge that did remind you of what you felt when you were yanked out of that vision.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go. To dawdle any more would be uncourteous.
Yeah, I follow suit.
I'll also head in.
Okay. Atgeir,
Right, well, I feel like that I have several more heads in this bag. But he's gonna travel right along.
Yuno's gonna follow as well.
Okay. The entrance into the hut is lined and littered with bones. Some humanoid, but mostly look like woodland creatures. Deer, foxes, rabbits, maybe some squirrels here and there. But there is a distinct smell of rot and decay as surrounding the entire foundation in both directions on either side of the door of the hut are spikes where you can now see closer the corpses of different kinds of humanoids, some large, some small. They all seem to be carrying weapons in various states of corrosion. Some of them are wearing, leather armor, studded leather armor, and none of their belongings seems to have been taken off of them. Like, you can see little leather pouches. You can see necklaces and rings that look like they're either dangling from the skeletal fingers or have dropped to the ground beneath the body. I would like everybody to make a quick insight check as you enter this place. $15 from Sazaros. 15 from Atgeir. 14 from Daunt. 12 from Yuno and 13 from Axton. How about you, Koza? Koza rolls a 20. Yeah, everybody is pretty shaken. Walking up to this house, it's a little unsettling. You can't tell if these corpses are here as a warning or as like a boasting, like, look what I've accumulated. However, being that you feel a connection, Koza, between the energy that is surrounding this person and what pulled you out of that vision, you get the sense it's more of a warning, like, don't come here with your crap because you'll just join these people.
Okay.
The crossing over the threshold within the hut, you are assaulted by all manner of sights and smells of someone clearly deranged and suffering the long years of solitude within the bosom of the Caulded Stix. The inside of the hut is quaint and a bit cramped despite its size, as nearly every square inch of wall and floor space is covered in old dried furs, cages filled with skeletal woodland creatures, bottles of fluid, dangling herbs and dried bird feet, shelves of small wooden boxes and bottles with things floating in them. A flat-top stump sits beside a small table with various implements and scraps of food or crumbs strewn about its surface. And at the center of the large central room is a black iron cauldron, sitting astride a fire pit. With a tap of her staff, the blackened logs under the cauldron erupt into a small flame, and she dumps the head into the cauldron and quickly darts around her cabin interior, gathering other ingredients. She actually moves pretty quick for somebody as feeble as she looks, because she's walking hunched, but when she wants to move, it seems like she can get around pretty quick. She's got an armful of bottles of spices and herbs and liquids and pastes, and after a few moments, she waves her hand over her head and conjures several gallons of water that fall into the cauldron. And she begins dumping little bits of the ingredients in her hands into it. And she finally settles into a chair a few feet away, surrounded by encroaching vines and roots from the canopy of her cabin ceiling above, almost like a surrounding throne. The firelight dances over her wrinkled and decrepit face beneath her hood, and her pinpoint, beady black eyes reflect tiny dots of light as she stokes the fire with a poker.
Please, you are in my home. Sit.
Drelka waves her hand, and several masses of roots and vines grow into 6 small stools, just large enough to sit on, behind you as you face her with the cauldron between you.
I'll sit down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you have given me a noble offering. Heads of the unwilling serve as powerful tools in my work. And they taste simply delightful with a little oregano.
Of course.
You may ask your questions now.
Akir's just gonna look over at the smart people.
We have heard tales of a dragon's lair in this area. Are these tales true, or just travelers' tales meant to frighten the unwary adventurer?
Usual disinterested gaze into her cauldron snaps to focus on you as soon as you mention the dragon. She spits on the ground and whispers a curse under her breath. After a moment, her mood shifts to that of brief amusement.
Little adventurers, you seek to slay the beast that roams these parts.
We definitely have designs on that. And something tells me that that's an event you wouldn't mind have happen.
She is no mere dragon, my little tasty treat. There are those who once knew her as the wretched wind. Others called her the unclean worm. But I know her by her true name.
And you see her wave her hands, and she conjures what looks to be a minor illusion. And it just appears to be this shadowy, incorporeal, flapping, vaguely dragon shape with these piercing red points of light where eyes would be. And it looks like it's just flying or gliding through the air. What underneath what looks like the tops of mountains.
She is Shekis, an utterly vile creature. Used to belong to a draconic cabal from far to the south. But they cast her out For her depravity and cruelty offended even her own coven. And so she came here and settled in the base of the mountains, hollowed out a lair, and transformed the landscape to reflect her putrescence. Her dark magic twists the earth and poisons the waters. Her foul nature even perverts the animals. I believe you met a few of her wolves already, yes?
Ah, so those are Shekis's handiwork then.
Her expression shifts to that of mild sadness.
Her corruption touches not only beast.
And you see her gaze just sort of goes a little slack, like she's sort of looking out into the distance.
Has she corrupted you too?
I didn't always look like this. When I came here, I was beautiful. The forest was my home, and it was as lovely as it was in the Feywild. But then she came, and my connection to my home was broken, sullied, and my body slowly began to take on this wretched form. So, what do you want with her? Tell me you don't intend to attack her. Her lair is lined with the bones of similarly foolish folk. She is no trophy to be mounted. She sits atop no dragon hoard to be looted. She takes no pleasure in collecting shiny trinkets. Instead, she delights in twisted and corrupting the hearts of good folk to do her bidding. She has room in her blackened heart for nothing but the pleasure she receives when turning a good person against their nature. And she's looking at you, Koza. That is her treasure. That is what brings her joy.
And she has felled much more capable and virtuous souls than yours. So turn now, adventurers, and abandon this quest, for it will end only one way. She starts stirring her cauldron.
Perhaps if you help us, there might be another outcome.
Yes.
Yeah. Long time ago, shortly after she came here, she tried to twist me and bend me to her will. When that failed, she tried to kill me.
Clearly she failed in that too.
It was not for lack of trying. And she kind of pulls her hood aside, and the brief firelight, you can see deep within her hood a harsh, gnarly, acidic scar across her neck.
You truly wish to kill her? Are you so in love with death that you give yourself over to its dark embrace so freely?
They already made peace with that one, love.
Far from it. Far from it, Lady Drelka.
Then why do you throw yourself at this creature?
Because what it's doing to the land is wrong, and I wish to see it cleansed.
Do you speak
that's
for
what he
them,
was doing.
Druid?
What'd you say?
I said because that's what heroes do.
So be it, heroes of the Stix.
Actually, kind of like that
a,
sound.
a suitable moniker. If you wish to collect her head, you must first find her lair. That is no easy task. I have never been there myself, as I am bound by the land here. She lairs somewhere to the northeast against the base of the grasping ridge. But the Caulded Stix are vast, and her lair putrefies the earth for miles, making it difficult to find the exact location before succumbing to its corruption. Navigating the poisoned pools and avoiding her traps and guard dogs will be treacherous. You will need a guide, or at least someone to follow deep into her territory. For that, you will need to find her minions.
She digs into her with a spoon and starts to taste her brew a little bit, sprinkles a little something into it, continues stirring.
Where would we find one of her minions, if that's readily available information?
Shekis uses dark magic to corrupt and warp the memories of the denizens of Rathburn. Most people have forgotten or deny her existence. But there is a cabal of fanatics in Rathburn who worship the Black Wing, as they call her. Many don't even know she is a dragon. Only her most dreadful champions pay her homage directly, making pilgrimages to her lair for offerings every few months. These champions, once noble men and women, soon fell to her corrupting influence after settling here. Now, they pilfer and murder in her name, driving the good folk scurrying out of Rathburn, only attracting the scum and vagrants you find there now.
Has anyone
She
made
kind
a
of-
pilgrimage there recently?
She kind of grasps a what looks like the skull of a large lizard creature and kind of picks the top of it off and kind of looks into it and smells it. And you see her move her hands, and she kind of, her eyes roll back in the back of her head. Sazaros, Koza, and I guess Olivia or Daunt as well. Why don't you guys make Arcana checks?
Ooh.
Nice. Not terrible. Not great. Brr. Ooh, yeah. You know, she is scrying right now. You hear her pop out of her trance just enough to talk to you.
There is a particularly vile man amongst her followers. A rogue named Viscar. Pale of skin, black of hair. Carries a hooked sword. He leads a group of headhunters on the east side of the village. I believe he has seen Shekis's lair firsthand as he bears an unusual scar across his face. Only those who grovel at her feet or defy her receive such blessings. Find the acolyte. Find the dragon.
And you see her snap out of her trance, and she begins to look at all of you, and her expression has changed, almost to that of a wistful, wanting, or sort of a faintly desperate plead.
If you manage to slay this creature, understand, you will end her corruption of the Stix. Perhaps I'll finally be able to return to my home. I would be in your debt, my little friends. In your debt. Now go. The hour grows late, and my stew is nearly ready.
She licks her lips and rakes her tongue across her teeth. And you see her expression dull, as if she really can't see anybody anymore at this point.
Well, I think our objective is adamantly clear. Let's go kill us a dragon.
Oh, right. Now you're talking. Also, how big is the
quick
dragon?
question though. How do we get back home?
That is a good question.
Boat.
Do we even figure
see-
out like how old this dragon is or what type of dragon this is?
I imagine we'll find out when we interrogate her followers. Step 1, find the hook-sorted minion. Step 2, ask politely for him to tell us everything he knows. And yada yada yada, celebrate the death of Crazy Dragon.
I said get out!
Get it out.
You start to feel a crackling in the air, as if there's an energy about the place that is starting to build.
Right, I like this lady. Let's leave her alone.
Yep, let's go.
Get our shit and get out.
Yep.
Quite literally not letting the door hit your ass on the way out, you guys depart the cabin and make your way back out into the front area of her property. And with that, we're going to take a 15-minute break.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
So we will meet back here at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time exactly.
Cool. Check you guys in a bit.
Coo.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey,
Oh, hey there.
Hey, howdy.
Hola.
So, as you all emerge from the threshold of Drelka's hut, hear the flapping of wings once again, and you see her apparate in front of you from this mass of feathers that just bursts from a kind of a sort of a pseudo teleporting spell in a way.
There is one thing I can offer you on your journey.
And she produces from her pocket or somewhere deep inside her cloak, you see this what looks like a ring of twisted vine and plant material with small bright green gems affixed in a sort of 3 of them. And she doesn't give it to anybody in particular. But she says,
One of two of you may fall. This may prevent that from happening. Shekis is vile and powerful.
and she just sort of hands it out in your general direction.
I'll go ahead and take it.
Okay. You take it, and as you get close to her actual skin to grab it, you feel this crackling, sort of like a static electricity, or like you hit your funny bone kind of feeling at the tips of your fingers just as you reach for it and kind of pull away quickly just to kind of get away from that negative energy field that seems to surround her immediate form. And then she looks at Axton and kind of gives you a sideways glance and says,
You wish to grow things?
Yes, I do.
Why do you wield a sword?
Well, sometimes you need to cut the rod out to prevent other things from being, infected. So I'm just trying to help my harvest grow.
I like that. Cut the rot out. Give me your blade, boy.
I hand her my halberd.
she takes it in her hands, and she kind of looks at it and kind of flips it around with a unexpected finesse. And then she takes a vial of this green liquid and pours it over the handle. And you hear her mutter under her breath some words in a language that I don't think anybody but understands as Draconic.
I understand Draconic.
Yep, and so, you clearly hear her chanting about growth and fertility and regrowth, things like that. And she kind of closes her eyes, and her hands glow from the inside where she's clutching the halberd. And then she releases and gives it back to you. And you can now see the handle, instead of being made of like a brown wood, looks like it's made of like a wood that's been infused with algae or moss, or maybe even rot. You're not exactly sure. It smells much earthier, like dirt and vegetation and rotting plants and things like that. And then she looks at and kind of gives you a nod in mutual respect, and reaches inside of her her cloak and produces 2 scrolls.
Oh, magic.
They are 2 rolled scrolls of vaguely algae-eaten parchment.
Okay.
And she kind of gives you another subtle nod and looks at the rest of you and settles on Atgear and says,
This one is touched by darkness. You all would do well to handle that at some point, lest he falls to it.
And then she erupts into a scattering of black feathers and is gone.
Ray, been meaning to tell you, I have not exactly felt 100% since you took away that nice little knife I had.
Oh? Care to elaborate?
Yeah, I feel like shite. Like I'm exhausted. Right, I'm not sure how else to explain this. Like, you ever have the flu, except you don't have any mucus, you just feel terrible all the time.
Like you feel weak.
Right, well, I'm not weak. Right, but I do feel that. I do feel it a little bit. Maybe more than just a little bit.
then maybe we need to find some type of cleric or healer to cleanse your spirit of whatever has cursed it.
Would be ideal.
Everybody but... Oh no, I think Koza, you were there. Everybody make a history check.
Okay.
History. Oh yeah.
Oh, my history.
Wow. What is going on?
Oh,
Kenny, is that... Oh, that's your previous... Oh, you got a 22. Okay. So... Oh, okay. Koza and... you both remember hearing... I think it was Bartok, the bugbear, talk about a temple in Dane, which is the next city to the west, having a temple that could perhaps help in that regard, though he's never been there. But you remember you guys remember having that conversation.
That's right, that's right. Now that you mention it, you do jog my memory.
Well, then in that case, I think we should pay a visit to Dane and see, if Bartok knew what he was talking about.
I think that probably need to be our next stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can't have
That's
anything
really
crazy on us.
Really
Again.
fix you.
Perhaps I remember this differently. I don't remember going crazy. I just recall taking a wee nibble on someone's ankle.
No, you're pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Psycho.
We can debate about all this later. Let's get out of here.
Maybe even deranged. Demented.
No, I am demented, that's true.
Yes, we are all mentally sick. Let's get out of the swamp.
Fine.
Build a great castle in the swamp. And it sank.
So I built it again. That's into this one.
Alright. So we're trudging back towards the quote-unquote shoreline to hopefully find Merrick with his shiny boat all patched up and ready to roll.
Well, shiny's a relative term. But yes, let's go back.
Okay. Well, as you guys start to kind of make your way through Drelka's property, the little footbridges, with Koza being careful to point out where the poisonous traps are on this field, you do notice the vultures are still with you. How long does your summon creature spell last, by the way, Koza?
I think it only lasts a minute, so it might have gone away by now, but let me check.
While you're checking, you guys do notice that the vultures are still following you, tentatively. Keeping their distance, not being aggressive. And just as a point of retrospect, there were a number of skeletal vultures sort of perched within Drelka's cabin the whole time you were in there. I forgot to mention that.
My conjure animal spell is up to an hour.
Cool. So I would say that you guys were probably in there for maybe half an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay.
So Chunky Boy's still with you
Yay!
for another few minutes. So, what's the plan?
Well, first and foremost, we need to...
It's what, mid to late afternoon now?
Let's head back immediately in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
It's the only way to share.
You guys got here about midday. You spent about 2 hours in the swamp. Another 45 to an hour here, so I'd say it's about early evening, maybe 3, 4, 5 o'clock, something like that. little difficult to tell, as none of you have keen mind, and you can't really see the sun.
Gotcha. And so we're back to the shore with where Merrick is, or are we on the way to the shore?
You're on the very edge of her property.
Okay.
You're still a couple hours from what you remember to be the shore.
Well, then let's go back.
What, are we going to have enough time before it gets dark?
You do notice that it seems like the sky is maybe a half a shade or a shade darker than it was when you set out on the shore into the forest.
Is the boat waiting for us when we get back? Did they
That's a
repair it, or
question we
can
have
you
yet to
repair it?
answer. We're hoping yes.
Yeah. So let's just try to make our way back there, and then try to go back to town and make our way to wherever.
Okay. I'm going to need a marching order if it's any different from what you had before.
I think I'll still try to be up ahead.
Yeah, I'll stay near the front.
So
yeah, I'm close
the way
to
I had it
staying
was, yeah, the way I had it was Axton, Koza, Sazaros, Daunt, Yuno, and Adkir.
Sounds about right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Works for me.
Sazaros,
Sir.
I need you to make another con save.
Oh, boy. There you go.
As you guys go back into the density of the forest in this part of the swamp, Sazaros, you begin to, I don't know, you feel off. You feel a little tired. You're not. You don't have to exact a point of exhaustion, but every now and then when you look, your vision hazes, and your eyes are very itchy. And as you go up to kind of rub them, you look back at your hand, and there's a little blood on your fingertip.
Charming. Well, that's just dandy. Okay, guys, let's try to get there as soon as we can. This place is not agreeing with me.
Oh boy, are you all right?
Some allergies.
I try to cast Cure Wounds on him and see if that does anything.
Let's see here. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I believe that's a D8 of healing. Yep. Okay. You gain 5 points of health back.
I think he was full up.
I'm topped off. I haven't taken any damage.
Well, I just
Yeah, so
wanted to see. I just
Yeah,
wanted to see if that did anything out of the blood.
You wave your hands over his face, and this green ethereal energy releases from your fingertips, encapsulates his entire form. Sazaros, unfortunately, your eyes are still very itchy.
Ah, man. Okay.
But if I'd like Axton and Atgear, as you guys traverse the swamp still, to both give me perception checks separately. Holy
Bam.
crap! Now you're rolling good again. That's a good roll too. Oh no, you're at disadvantage, aren't you? You are. That's not so good. So, Axton, I mean, you are just, bird on a fence right now. You are just scanning the horizon. You're able to see pretty clearly through the fog. You notice that there are number of creatures that seem to be taking note of you. You do see one that gives you a little bit of pause. It is about 100 feet away, through a particularly clear portion of the fog. You see a large creature. It appears to be quadrupedal, hulking, furry, and to the best of your knowledge, it looks like its fur is gathering moss and algae at its edges, and it has a face that's very dog or bear-like, and it is traveling in your direction very slowly.
I inform everybody else about it, and I guess we'll try to maneuver around it and avoid it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, and in what way would you like to do that? You just gonna walk in a different direction?
Yeah, if possible.
Okay. At gear.
Maybe we can roll some stealth checks. I'm not sure how everybody else feels about that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, before we get there, at gear.
Mm-hmm.
You being at the back are really trying to struggle through the uncomfortable feelings you're going through right now. Aside from it being hot and cold at the same time, the swamp is miserable. You hate it here. On top of that, you feel very tired. You feel like your clothes are pulling you down. You just want to stop, lean up against a tree, take a nap, anything to escape the misery of this place. You're also... Who has the bag of holding, by the way? Is that Yuno?
I think so.
Okay. You are constantly distracted.
Yes, Yuno has the bag of holding.
Okay. Adgear, you are constantly distracted because you are eyeing that bag of holding with a increasingly fervent jealousy. There's something about that bag that you really, really need to get in there. You're trying to ignore the craving and the urge to take that sword back, but it's starting to fail. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Alright, let's do it. This is also a disadvantage, right?
I don't know if exhaustion affects saving throws. I think it just affects
Ability
ability.
check.
First level doesn't affect you. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh!
Damn.
Freaking cold turkey!
Hey!
Natural 20.
No DTs
Well done.
for you.
So instead of devising a plan to steal the bag,
As one naturally would.
what would you like to say to the nagging feeling within your spine to walk over to Yuno and snatch his bag from it? What would you like to say to that feeling in defiance?
Right, just because I could snap that wizard's spine doesn't mean I'm gonna. Right? I decide who I kill. You're an inanimate fucking object. You can't kill anyone without my muscular forearms to swing ya. So quit it already. And get out of my fucking head. And I'm gonna say this out loud to everyone also.
So we hear you talking to yourself.
Oh yeah. Loudly announcing, yeah, I know I could kill the wizard, but I'm not gonna kill the wizard.
That's good to know.
That's what I'm saying. We're like a family now. We're the crown collectors. And sure, no immaculately crafted weapon of destruction is going to tear us apart, no matter how great it feels in your hands.
Just gives a thumbs up.
But maybe we
Atgeir,
need to put some space between Yuno and Atgeir.
Yeah, he's
Probably
right
good
behind him too.
I mean, he did say he's not going to kill the wizard.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not
Yes.
going to do it.
That's great, but all the same, hey Yuno, why don't you move ahead of me in the line?
Yuno decides to cast mage armor on himself just as a
Just as a precaution.
That's 8
yeah,
hours,
just,
right?
Just as a precaution, yeah.
I
Okay.
won't save you, Boyle. But good on you.
You guys see Yuno kind of give Atgeir a sideways glance and start to tiptoe ahead of Sazaros, and as he does, he waves his hand in front of his face, and you see this blue glow just of these like spikes just erupt from his shoulders, his forearms, out of his back, and then disappear into ethereal invisibility. You now have mage armor loaded.
Shock, shock.
So, back to you, Axton. You direct the team away from whatever this creature is and notice that it is now following you. It's gaining speed, too. It's getting a little closer. You're able to make out a little more features. It looks like the green edges of its fur and its bear-like face would denote a similarity to what Atgeir was able to surmise as to certain beasts that you may encounter within the Caulded Stix. One of them being the bog bear, and it's notable for its fur just kind of sagging with vegetation and algae and moss, and they can be particularly ferocious. It's not recommended you take them on single-handedly, and you can now hear it kind of. And at this point, it's about 60 to 70 feet away, and it's following you.
We need to form up.
Yeah, let's just. Do you guys want to take care of this, just in case it does go on a rampage?
Yeah, let's kill this thing.
Okay, you guys are stopping.
I think so.
Today,
Okay.
Atgeir is going to attempt to go stealthy mode,
Stealthy
Alright.
boy.
which I guess is at disadvantage.
Sorry, no. Your exhaustion is gone. I forgot to say that.
Oh!
Hey!
Stealthy
You shrugged
boy!
it off.
Excellent.
Right, I'm gonna prove that. I'm gonna prove it to that bleeding eye fucking dagger. I don't need it to kill things. I've been killing things for years. And he's gonna dip off and try and get the jump on this giant swamp bear.
You're gonna swing wide and hide.
Yeah.
22?
And I guess
Yeah,
we'll start attacking it from range.
Yeah, are you kind of like hide? There's plenty of things to hide behind, by the way. This isn't super hard. Where exactly are you hiding now that you're all in a line and the creature is
No, we're
about
gonna form
50
rank.
feet away?
I
You're
would
gonna
say we
form
form
ranks.
rank.
Okay. So where are you posted up at here?
My visibility. I don't need to be in a line of fire.
Fair enough.
Facts. I'm just gonna step off to the side,
Okay.
like to the left-hand side.
Yeah, you disappear behind a bush. It's about 40 feet away now, and it's starting to run. It's starting to like pick up speed. You can hear the thumping of its paws. And it stops
Shoot
short
that thing
about.
down.
Well,
Yep.
I'm gonna ready in action to throw a javelin when it gets closer. When it gets within
Okay.
30.
It's within 30 feet. It's
That's
starting
my
to charge.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. As a matter of fact,
Well,
being that it's charging you and it's far enough away, if anybody wants to make a ranged attack, you can do so right now.
So 13 to hit. I'm not sure if that's gonna hit a.
Brrr. Yep, that hits.
Yuno's gonna launch a firebolt.
Okay.
So we're all doing this simultaneously? I like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll cast. I'll
19.
throw off Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
19
That's
for firebolt.
19 hits.
So
See
13
here.
and 24.
24 to
10
hit.
points of fire damage.
Well, hold on. Let's go down the list here.
Hold on.
It got a 6 on its Wisdom save for frightened, so it stops dead in its tracks. It takes 4 points of damage from your javelin, right? Axton?
It looks like 10 points for the javelin and then 4
what did you
points
say?
for the menacing attack.
I didn't go up high enough. Okay. I didn't go up high enough. You guys are...
Yeah.
I gotcha. 13 hit, piercing damage of 10.
And
The
4
E-Blast
damage.
hit. The E-Blast hit. 4 extra damage. 24 on your short bow. Are you
that it?
using your cold damage?
No. I'm not gonna use that damage, but technically, if the bear doesn't realize that we were about to attack it, then it counts as surprised, right? Just for the assassination thing. So basically, if I attack somebody before there's like an initiative.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'll say you get that.
So here's the damage
And-
for the typical
and-
short bow.
Yep. Got it. Koza and Yuno, I need attack rolls and... oh, wait. I think you already did.
So that would be another 3d6 and another. So that's an extra 4d6.
And what is Koza
Oh my
doing?
god. Terrible.
I said, what is Koza doing?
Oh, Koza's just standing back. He's not going to attack.
Okay. And I think I heard Sazero say you're doing Dissonant Whispers, which is a Wisdom save. That's a natural 3 plus 1 is 4.
Yeah, he fails that.
Yeah.
So that's 3d6 psychic damage, and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Right. So, immediately, whack, whack, throw in a javelin, fire in your crossbow, E-blasts, and Dissonant Whispers. All of that impacting at once. A firebolt to the face. This thing gets blasted to shreds and falls back on its back, dead instantly. I mean, you guys just erupted on this thing, and it just lays bleeding and slumped in the swamp. And as it does so, you see 6, 7, 8 of these skeletal vultures descend from the trees onto the corpse and start picking at it, except one, which keeps its eye on you.
All right, well,
Well
no
done, Jelly.
everybody.
I think you got the killing blow there, little buddy. I'll give Jelly a high five.
We got tools, we got the talent.
Here I was hoping to actually test out my halberd to see what happened to it. Oh well.
This is how we do things in our neighborhood.
I'll go retrieve my javelin and then scamper on back with the rest of the party.
Okay. Yeah, you actually threw... You guys noticed that this thing, it's not undead, but it is so twisted and mutated that its flesh is rather spongy, and your javelin went right through its body and impaled the ground behind it.
Ew.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's like gelatin.
Yuck.
It's spongy.
It's squishy.
So, is there anything you guys would like to do before continuing on? I heard Axton was curious about his halberd.
Are we
Well,
in a
hoping to test it
are we
on
in a
this
position here to
year,
take a short rest?
Do we want another short rest, or do we want to just make our way back to town?
Well, we got to get to the boat, and then we got to sail on the boat back to town.
I mean, as a warlock, I'm never against taking short rests.
I'm okay with taking a short rest. That'll give me all my superiority dice again, my second wind, and my action surge.
Yeah,
Nice.
let's take a small rest.
I think. Yeah, that's fine with me.
So you guys are in the middle of probably the densest part of the jungle of this island. You're not yet at the shore, and you're kind of halfway between Drelka's hut and the beach. There is a corpse of a bog bear, not 20 feet from you, being picked apart by skeletal vultures.
Jerry. All right. All right, so if we're taking a rest here, I'll go ahead and use a Song of Rest to give everybody an extra D6 if they're going to use any hit dice.
That is clutch. It really is. Okay.
Cool.
Are you guys just kind of sitting down where you're at?
Taking a breather?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try to find like some solid earth for him to, put down his tiny hut.
Well,
best
make a
research.
perception check.
Someone want to help me?
Perception or investigation?
Perception.
Perception. He's
I'll
just
help
looking
you.
around, looking for a patch of solid earth.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Dude, what the hell?
Damn.
Oh my god, hold on. 1, 2. I know there was another one, I know it.
It was about his fourth or fifth Renat 20.
3, 4,
Like a
5. Okay, 6 natural 20s this game, 4 29s.
Jeez, man.
Axton wins the internet today.
Take him to Vegas.
So, there's no solid ground. However, you figure, being a farmer, you do know that the most solid part of any swamp is directly on top of any plant life. So if you were to take a patch of bush and just kind of post up on top of it, that's your best chance of staying dry. But there's just little tiny streams and pools of water and thick, sloppy mud all over the terrain here.
Perfect place to take a nap.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Become one with the jungle. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we found a place for our hour-long rest.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Is anyone gonna take watch?
I will. Ikir's got it.
Okay, because I don't think Kenny said if he was going to set up his hut or not. I don't know if he wants to burn that spell again.
Oh, I thought that's what we were doing.
I got you.
Ritual.
I only, well, yeah, I only react when things are spoken.
Yeah.
Akir will take watch.
Okay.
He's doing great anyway. Just the best.
You still hate it out here.
Great, but I have
All
a
right.
new appreciation for life.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, Atgear.
All right, for you, I will do this. But I have to. Oop, wrong button. Percepciones. Yeah. Did that roll?
You rolled it twice. I'll take that 11.
Okie-doke. Oh, okay. Now my system is all janky. Let me refresh this.
Oh boy.
There we go. Oh yeah, 11sies.
Okay. Is there anything anybody would like to do while you just sit here for a little while?
Already said I'm using Song of Rest. That's about it.
Yep. Yep. You're also carrying that ring, Sazaros, don't forget.
Oh yeah.
I
what
don't
does
even
that
know
ring
what the thing is. Would Yuno be at, well, if Yuno's not resting, do you think he may be able to cast Identify on this or use his wand of Identify?
I would say since it comes from a wand, he wouldn't have to be spending any errant energy, that he could do that during a rest.
Okay. So I ask Yuno that, before, while I'm tuning up and getting ready to play, and it's like, before I begin to play to help our comrades heal up, would you mind identifying this ring that the Bogmother gave me?
And maybe take a look at my weapon to let me know what it does as well.
Sure. So pulls out his wand of identification and uses it 2 taps, 1 on each of those items.
Okay. The ring is very, very deceptive. At a first glance, it looks like a kid made it. It looks like it's made out of twisted brown root material with these 3 almost pebble-like stones set along the wrappings of this root. However, when you tap it, you get this feeling of almost that feeling you get after a headache has gone away, where you're a little woozy but you feel really good. You instantly recognize this as a ring of revivification.
Ooh.
But you do know that it is not simply a stored spell. Other than it will allow you to cast it if you have the components required. But it will let you cast this once per long rest.
Well, alrighty then.
And he places his wand on your halberd, Axton, and you see these you see these almost ethereal looking roots and vines erupt from his eyes and form kind of a very fast 5-second mask of plant material around his face that then shrink back into his eyes, and he blinks a couple seconds, and you determine that this halberd has been imbued with the spell Plant Growth. And it can be used once per long rest. And strangely enough, in order for the spell to be viable, the blade has to cut into some kind of plant material at least once a day before the spell can be cast. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yep, would you?
Okay. Just felt like I was talking into a void there for a moment.
Yeah.
Being
I thought one of them
on-
would say something.
Oh,
Okay. Well, yeah, so I guess we just take our short rest.
Yuno. Hello, Yuno, hello.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm.
As you are identifying their objects, the 2 scrolls you find yourself distracted by.
Okay.
You unroll one of them, and it's written in a ancient text. What languages do you speak?
Common, Draconic, and Elfish.
It is written in Elfish. But you recognize that it's written in an form of Elvish that is almost like whoever wrote this has an accent that is steeped in Sylvan. The way the words are written, you get the sense that whoever this is has been around fey creatures before. And one of the scrolls is Melp's Minute Meteors. And the other one is Slow.
Okay.
You all take your long rest. Atgeir, your rather low roll, fortunately does not do you any harm, as the swamp seems to be leaving you guys alone for the moment.
I was able to lure it into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
And I guess Daunt like gets up and stretches. I feel well rested, ready to cast again. Shall we head out?
Anybody else using hit dice before we leave out? Anybody else need any healing up?
Nope, I think everybody's good.
All right, Axton, if you need to, you can burn an extra D6. Because it's my song.
No, I think I'm pretty much at full just with those two rolls.
Okay, cool.
Alright, let's get a move on.
Alright. With what I'm guessing is the same marching order, let me get another perception check from Axton and Atgeir.
This thing I will do.
Axton at the
Question:
front.
while in the hut, any difference with my eyes and the itching?
There was no hut cast. You
Oh,
guys
that's
were
cool.
just kind of camping out.
Okay, cool. All right.
It was a long rest, though?
No, short rest.
Short. Okay. That's just double. I thought I heard someone say long, and I got confused.
Nope.
Alright, that was just 18.
All right. As you guys near the clearing in the swamp forest, your steps become sloppier and muddier as you approach the water's edge. You can see Merrick. He is kind of pacing left to right along the beach. Looks like he's looking for you, or looking into the forest. And as you're a bit away from the edge, you're probably imperceptible by him, and you can see him showing signs of visible frustration. Just kind of like, throwing his hands down and looking around, and then waiting around, kicking some mud. And as you break through the edge of the forest and move about maybe 30-40 feet away from the beach where he is, you see him give a big sigh, get into his boat, and start to launch it.
Where does he think he's going?
Is he trying to leave without us?
Maybe he needs to be stabbed.
Well, he sure as fuck isn't leaving with us.
I'm gonna cast message. Are we within about 120 feet from him?
Yeah, you're about 40 feet away.
Oh, 40 feet away.
Yeah,
All right.
if he were looking in your direction, he would probably see you, but he's not.
All right. So I'll use a cantrip to cast message. And he hears in his head, "We're right behind you, Merrick. Stop."
He kind of like you see him jump, and he kind of looks around, real jerky-like, what the hell was that? Where'd that come from? And he turns around and he sees you. He goes, "Oh, there you are. And he kind of awkwardly climbs out of the boat and kind of stops it from moving because he was shoving off. Kind of stops it. And he grabs it. He's like, "I was just, getting her ready to go here. Glad to see you made it out of the woods. Okay."
We seaworthy?
"Oh yeah, they'll float, no problem. The other one's probably still got a little bit of a leak, but shouldn't be too bad."
Can I take a look at it? Is it enough that I could cast mending to try to help it?
The dinghy? Yeah, it looks exactly the same as it did before, where you can't actually see a rip or a tear, but now that you're on shore, you could flip it around and see if there's something on the bottom.
That's what I want to do. I want to inspect it, take a look at it with the...
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check. I'll say at this point you can make it at advantage, because you've kind of got it on shore and you're really giving it a good thorough once-over.
Well...
Whew. Looks like Axton took all the luck with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a failure, though. It's just you're not a boat expert, so you're not exactly sure what is it's made of wood, but what's a dent or what's a structural feature. But you're pretty sure you can see a crack along the hull that is basically the entire length of the hull.
Okay.
This very, very thin crack along the whole thing.
All right, how many applications of mending would it take to heal that crack along?
Well, it doesn't work on anything larger than a foot. And this crack is much larger than a foot. It's not about how many applications. Like, if you were fixing many small cracks, it would work. But one long crack, that's kind of not how the spell works. The spell needs to have a confined space of a square foot.
What if both me and Ceziros cast it?
It wouldn't matter. The spell is restricted to a small tear or a rip or a crack or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess
one
we just
foot
gonna
in
have
any
to run.
direction.
What if I sit on it? I'll sit on the crack.
You sit on the crack. You are now on top of a boat that is upside down.
Well, I don't think that's the way we need to ride this boat. I don't think that is the most efficient way to use it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
we
know
could
if
try.
there's any sort of materials that we could use around here, like some sort of tree sap to maybe help seal the crack.
I don't think we have much sap producing trees.
Hang on. Let me see if Druidcraft will work.
I have faith in your ability to Druidcraft.
Nope. Nothing about fixing anything or like making plant life grow. Because I was thinking maybe like tangle it with vines or something. But nope, that's not how the spell works.
Well, as you guys are kind of sitting here and meandering about the place and wondering what you could do about this boat, you hear a rushing and a splash, and behind you, you hear as a giant crocodile grabs Merrick around the torso and half the boat with him and drags him into the water.
No!
Sir.
So we're just gonna get out of here, or no? All right, fine. We'll save.
Sword whip. Immediately.
Yeah, Atgear is gonna dive right in.
I'll hex the crocodile's strength.
Okay. The
Cast
crocodile is
Thornwhip.
hexed. What's the range on Thornwhip?
I believe 60 feet, but I could be wrong.
That's a big-ass whip.
30 feet.
30 feet? Okay. Roll an attack.
Okay.
You are hexing it. It is now hexed. Its strength is at disadvantage, correct?
Yeah, but only ability checks, so not like saving throws or anything like that.
Right.
Come on. 7. I can't imagine that hits.
7? No. Nope, you just kind of glance off of it as it goes to disappear. And right now it is fleeing. It has Merrick and the boat in its jaws. It has spun around, and it is going to... It's beginning to sink under the depths.
Oh, boy.
That sucks.
Alright.
Bust that person.
Start
Would
shooting.
anybody else like to do it? Do something?
Yeah, Akir's gonna try and get in there and grapple with this giant crocodile.
You are you? Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna tie a rope to my belt and dive on in. Let's do it.
Go for it.
How do I
Okay.
do this?
You are going to make... Well, first you have to find it, so you're going to make a perception check at disadvantage because you're underwater and it's all muddy.
It is very big. 17.
17. You are able to grab its tail.
Alright. Let's bring it back.
Okay,
So
and
now
I will,
it's athletics, I guess.
Yeah,
gonna-
athletics.
well, let me know when it's my turn.
Okie dokie day.
Oh,
Yep, you've got a firm grip. You've got a firm grip on the tail of a creature 3 times your size. It is now
Oh,
dragging
that-
you into the water.
Perfect. But now he's grappled. I have him exactly where I want him.
He's not going nowhere.
For now, I will swing my newly enchanted halberd into the water and cast plant growth. So that way it's going to have a much harder time getting away. And I'll make vines grow up through the bottom of the swamp to prevent it from moving further.
All right. Let's see here. It is all normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on that point become thick and overgrown. A creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot that it makes. That's fine. A swim of 50. So it gets about
10 feet.
About 12, 13 feet away, further than it was, and it was already about 20 feet away. So it's about 35 feet away. We'll say that. Still has Atgear on its tail and Merrick in its mouth. You didn't even hear Merrick scream. I mean, it was just like a snatch and twist and turn around and dove into the water. So it's about 35 feet away. Does anybody else want to do anything?
I want to shoot it.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Shoot it with my hand crossbow.
I'd also
I'm gonna
totally
cast-
shoot it.
I'm gonna cast water breathing on Merrick, but I don't know if that's like a touch spell or.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but I'm gonna check just to be sure.
There you go.
No, it's 30 feet. So I cast water breathing on Merrick.
Okay. Do you have to be able to see them? Yes, you do. You cannot see Merrick.
I can't see him.
He is under muddy water.
Well, then in that case,
At this point, you guys see these whipping vines start to erupt from the surface of the water in a huge area. It does say you can control it.
Yes, I can. I can actually
Exclude
open
one
up
or more
the-
areas, any size with the spell areas from being affected. So pretty much everywhere except where you guys are standing are huge whipping vines all over the place.
I rolled a 16 on my attack, and if that hits, 6 piercing.
Yeah, your arrow, think, pierces right into its hide. You kind of catch it in the rump, just forward of one of the hind legs. Doesn't seem to be slowing down, and It went another. Yep. It made its. It made its. Let's see here. Plant growth.
There is no save.
There's no save because it just makes it. Just makes it difficult. So it traveled another 15 feet. So it's about 45 feet away into the lake, and it is now completely submerged, with Atgeir grasping its tail. And he attached a rope to himself. Nobody said they grabbed it, so now there's this length of rope that's starting to dart away from you guys.
I guess I can hold on to the rope and try to pull.
Okay. I need an athletics check from Axton and Atgeir.
Uh-oh. Round 2.
I'm gonna
And I'm going
also
to-
help Axton, or not.
Grab the rope. Okay, the crocodile for his strength check, his athletics, or his strength saving throw, he got a 19. So he's still going forward.
But I get a 22.
That means that you are pulling Atgeir.
So he has escaped my grip. Damn.
Yeah, he beat you. So your fingers you're now underwater. You feel your fingers start to get this slicing pain through your fingers as the tail whips out of your hand, and you feel your torso get pulled behind you as Atgeir is pulled out from the water. Axton clutching the rope, hoping that he was gripping a dwarf with a crocodile in his grasp. Unfortunately, just a dwarf.
Oh, it's a bit small. I'll toss it back.
And at this point, the crocodile is another 15 feet away, and you can no longer see him. A half of the boat now floats haphazardly in the water. Merrick is gone. The crocodile is gone. All
We're
you guys
screwed.
have.
Well, shit.
Well, I mean, we have one boat.
So, that could have gone better.
Indeed. How many people can one boat take again?
Maybe 3. The little dinghy, maybe 3.
That's not good. It's not good at all. Axton, can you make a boat?
Make a boat.
It would take me a very, very, very long time. But I do have the tools for it.
Wait a minute.
Yup.
I've got a tiara. Hang on one second. And I walk over to, the nearest tree that would fit and start to try to make another portal.
Okay. You feel the tiara's weight on your head grow heavy, and you all see the tiny little jewels. Now, this is the platinum tiara with green jewels that you guys gave to him when you were distributing your wealth back in Brackenshire. He wears it underneath his green dark vision goggles. You see all the little gems light up real quick, and a nearby tree, in the same fashion as when he arrived here while you were in your tiny hut. These vines erupt from the ground and form a portal archway, and the vines drop, and there's this green light where the vines used to be in the same shape of the archway.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh. So.
And
can we all
it
just
immediately
use this portal
starts to
go?
flicker.
Okay. You run through.
Where you need to go through now. Go, 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 go.
Yeah, immediately. And just jump.
It's just run.
All right, the spell lasts about 6 seconds, and fortunately, you guys were all pretty close to the same area he was, and you all make it. And as you leap into the tree, into the portal, you feel the loose parts of your clothing being yanked forward. Your head snaps back, your arms and legs flail behind you, and you can feel yourself being transported almost through some other plane of existence, and get spit out the other side and topple on top of each other on a tree that's behind you, with the village of Rathburn a little further out of view.
We were going to try to go to
Little
that other
gadget.
now, but that's fine.
Oh. Poor Merrick.
So sad. Anyway,
Yeah.
Oh no. Anyway,
yeah. Well, we know our next stop really needs to be Dane, but
yeah.
I would rather let's just
Well,
get
do we
into
really need to go to
Rathburn,
Dane?
Rath-
Because it seems like
Rash and Bartok.
Accurate's feeling a lot better. He doesn't really, covet the dagger anymore.
At the same
That's
time,
right
though, Dane
Right
has an
now.
amazing bar called the Frosty Ale. It's worth the trip. The food alone is worth the trip to Dane.
Okay.
I'd be keen to go to Dane. Maybe we can get some horses from Rathbone.
Yep. My vote is, like I say, we can see it. Let's get to Rathburn, get to Bartok's place, crash the night, and then go make our way to Dane to get all of this curse mess taken care of.
That sounds like a great idea.
Is anybody gonna miss Merrick? Should we inform anybody that what happened?
Only if they ask.
Right, that's true.
Merrick? Who's Merrick?
Who?
Literally no one knows.
They're gonna know.
How are they gonna know?
They're gonna know.
How would they know?
All right, guys. Moving on. Let's trudge.
2 Bartoks.
Sweet.
Yeah, you make your way. It takes you about 5-10 minutes to get back to the edges of town. You surmise that you're probably somewhere on the western side of Rathburn. You don't actually know this area that well because you guys approached from the east and traversed through it into the northern section of it. So this part of town is a little... It's not a huge village, by the way. It's not like a sprawling metropolis or by any stretch of the imagination. It's a village. But you do see a proper set of gates on this side of town. There are no guards, but you do see the gates are constructed of what look like burnt wood poles and kind of a meager pointed stick fence that sprawls about 100 feet in either direction and then stops. And yeah, the foot traffic is sparse this time of day. And yeah, the village of Rathburn is open to you.
2 Bartoks.
Yeah, Bartoks. They was it Rusty Cup?
Rusty Cup sits somewhere in the center/eastern portion of the town, and sitting on a small hill, a small mound of earth, keeping it from the necessity for footbridges out of the wandering and meandering streams that pass along through the town. And you go inside and you see the place is just a little livelier than it was the last time you were here. There's a couple of half-elves in hoods at the bar. There's a small halfling with what looks like a lute, and he's up on the little semicircle stage, and he's just kind of plucking a tune. Doesn't seem to be rousing the crowd, which there is something of a crowd. There's a half-orc at a table who's sort of laughing his way through a conversation with a couple of tieflings. There's a blue-skinned dragonborn in a red, kind of a flamboyant-looking, flashy coat, and he's kind of staring with his thumb or his tongue sticking out of his mouth, kind of staring very closely at what looks like a gold ring that's being shown to him by a human or half-elf woman. And Bartok's just behind the bar and just kind of cleaning a glass and sees you come in and he's like, "Well, hey, it's hold on a minute. You're those crown collectors, right?"
That's correct.
That is us.
"Well, come on in. Hey, everybody. These are the guys that drove out the Moog twins, or sorry, Moog twin. And they're cronies. So and everyone just kind of gives you a little hey with a tip of their glass.
That's right.
And,
recognize.
You see Bartok lay out 6 glasses, and he says, "Will you be staying with us tonight?"
Yes, we will be.
I think so.
Oh,
We kind of need to freshen up from the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you guys? Weren't you guys gonna go see the Bogmother? How'd that go?
A lot better than we thought it would, actually.
An experience to remember, but right now I'd like to forget.
Well, I got just the thing for you to forget, and he grabs this black glass bottle and uncorks it. You see a little, steam or smoke or something erupt from the neck of the bottle, and he pours it into the glasses, and you see this dark, almost black-brown, syrupy-like liquid hit the bottom of the glass. And he takes a spoon, and the spoon itself shines like you've never seen something shine before. And he goes, I only take this out for special occasions. And he takes what looks like a pitcher of ale and pours a little bit into the spoon, and then stirs that spoonful of ale into each of the glasses with that thick syrup, and the solution expands and fills the glass with this greenish, glittery potion-like fluid. And he does it to all 6 glasses. He goes, I call this a Bartok special. On me.
I'll down mine.
Yeah.
Bartok.
Damn.
Bottoms up.
Yeah, it's really, really strong. It hits you like a shotgun to the face. It's a really, really strong liquor taste. It tastes a little sweet at the end. It's got kind of an aftertaste with notes of like a peanut buttery taste to it. And you all find yourselves invigorated like you've never been before. And for the next 12 hours, you all have advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Cool.
Ooh. That's very nice.
And he kind of corks the bottle. He goes,
We can do most of it, but hey.
He says, "Well, you never know. Maybe someone try to enchant you in your sleep. It'll kind of keep you a little perky when you're normally would have been taken advantage of." And he kind of puts the bottle back on the shelf and continues helping out the other patrons of the bar.
Right. Well, as I finish my drink, I head on over to the stage to join the halfling.
Yeah, he's kind of dirty. He's not wearing as flashy clothes as you, and he sees you, a huge, silver-scaled, finely dressed dragonborn, approach the stage, and he's just kind of instantly is he doesn't seem intimidated by your physicality, but he seems more intimidated by your presence. And he's like, hey, and he stops plucking at his lute, and he's like, you need some backup?
No, let's jam. Come on.
And instantly he just he gives you a nod, and he's like, all right, try to keep up then. And he immediately just he seems motivated, and instantly just digs hard on his mandolin or on his lute and starts picking a little tune. And there's a blue-skinned humanoid with a bulky hood. She kind of pops up, and she's got a flute. She kind of starts blowing into her flute, and the three of you just start bouncing little ideas off of each other. It kind of sounds like a mess at first, until you start to kind of weave a little rhythm out of it, and you start working off of each other. I'll have everybody at the table gets a die of bardic inspiration. Starts to sound pretty good.
I cast enhance ability, and give him advantage on charisma checks.
Cool.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I take my empty mug and I put it down on the stage, and it's like, feed the starving artists.
2 silver in the mug.
Yeah, we'll say right away you get about 8 silver and 10 copper just instantly in the cup. So Bartok kind of sidles up to you guys, kind of looks at you and says, "So, what'd you find out? By the way, where the hell's Merrick?"
Who's Merrick?
Who's Merrick? What are you talking about? Jeez. Get off our case.
I'm out of this. I'm jamming on stage.
Is he? What did he do? Did he go home or something?
Think. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Maybe. I don't know
Well-
where that guy is.
So tell me how it went. You went to go see the Bogmother, talk to her about a dragon in the area. I still don't believe that, by the way.
Well, actually, it's been confirmed that it is in fact a dragon.
Sure. Is that what she said?
Yes, that is what she said.
Ah, well. I tend to believe my eyes before I believe some witch in the woods.
She also mentioned that this dragon likes to corrupt, or has corrupted, denizens of Rathburn. Have you noticed anybody acting strangely, especially recently?
Yeah, I mean, it's Rathburn. Everybody here sucks, pretty much.
Yeah,
all
I
the time.
guess that was a bad question. Do you know of anybody that worships someone called the Black Wing?
No. And he just, uncharacteristically shuts down and moves further down the...
I would like to
The
get
bar?
a read on him about that.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Come on. Hang on. Okay. Insight check.
Not really.
Not bad. Yeah, he's full of shit. It's written all over his face. Bartok is not
Okay.
a very deceptive person, but you made him extremely uncomfortable, and he sees you looking at him and just kind of gives you a nervous nod, like, "I see you looking at me," and then leaves and goes back behind the bar into the storeroom.
Can I walk back out there with him? Or like can I meet him out there?
He went behind the bar, the actual physical bar, not the building, and into a room behind the bar, and shut the door.
Well, he's got to come out sometime, right?
All right, but right now we got a party going on.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we can speak to people around here, though. I'd like to just like speak to people around and like see if anybody's heard of people who worship the Black Wing.
Man, way to kill the party.
Yeah, make make a persuasion check.
Cool. 22.
So in the corner of the bar sits a man in brown clothing. He looks to be maybe, and in my campaigns I don't beholden only half elves and half orcs. There's also half gnomes and half halflings, which is an odd thing to say. But you get he's a rather short person, but he doesn't look dwarvish. He's got kind of chiseled, semi-chiseled features, a little gaunt in the face, very, very curly hair, brown hair on top. He's just sort of tucking into potatoes and carrots on a plate. And you get the sense he might be kind of part halfling, part gnome, something like that. And you just kind of sidle up next to him. Now, do you need to specify what you look like walking into this place?
Okay, so coming in as Daunt, he's like a muscular, medium-sized male. He's not like particularly tall, but he looks a bit brutish, I guess. But then he's got dark blue hair.
Does he still have the messed up face?
No, it's about just like a normalish face.
Okay. Yeah, you walk up to this gentleman after speaking to a few people and getting mostly brush offs and like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You sit next to this guy and yeah, let's have a conversation. You sit up next to him. What would you like to say?
You're like, hey, have you heard anything about the Black Wing? And he mumbles that it's a bit soft.
Well, he just drops his spoon and looks up at you and goes. He's got looking over his shoulder and he's like, "Who are you?"
The name's Daunt. Don't worry, I'm a friend. No need to be worried or anything like that. We can just have a conversation.
And he leans over and there's a barmaid kind of moving in between the 6 or 7 tables that are in this place. He just kind of puts his hand up and puts up 2 fingers and then points at you as if they're on you. He's like, "Have a seat, Dawn."
Cool. Like I sit down.
They bring you a couple of large, tall wooden tankers of brown ale. And you're still kind of feeling the effects of the Bartok special kind of coursing through your veins. He just kind of takes a long tug on that tankard and puts it down, and he says, "What do you want to know about the Black Wing?"
Well, for starters, are they in this town? Have you heard anything about them in this town? Where I could find them?
Well, they are here. But I don't think you're going to like them when you find them. And he just kind of continues to sip his beer and drink or eat his potatoes and carrots. He says, "You're that lot that helped Bartok clear this place of the riffraff, right?"
Indeed.
Yeah, that ogre, one of them Moog twins. He killed my wife, you know that? He just grabbed her and stepped on the back of her head one day. And me, I'm in no shape to go up against somebody like that, but we really liked this place. Me and my wife, her name was Kara. We've been friends with Bartok for a number of years. And one day that guy just came in here and took over.
See, it's just that kind of depravity that we're looking to end. That's why we need to find the Black Wing.
Well, I don't know any of them personally. But I know they operate on the east side of town. They're led by some crazy guy named Fiskar. He's a real piece of work. The Moog twins worked for him. And, well, now that the Moog twins are no more, this side of town is looking a little brighter. And if you're here to continue the brightness of this town, well, I'll do everything I can to help you. You're looking for a store. Okay. It's called the Dungeon's Rest. And it's on the east side of town. It's a front. It looks like at first to be kind of a general goods kind of a store, but it's got an entrance at its rear that leads to a cellar. And I've heard that members of the Blackwing, or at least members that worship the Blackwing, whoever that is, well, they gather there. I don't know what for, I don't know what they do, but if you're looking to find worshippers of the Blackwing, I would start at the Dungeon's Rest.
Okay. Thank you very much. This information will be very useful to us.
Kind of tips his glass and he goes, "Thank you for driving that ugly ogre out of here."
Of course. Anything we can do to make things a little better. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your drinks.
You too.
Just like nod.
And you see his eyes are misty and welling with tears, and he just sort of becomes very quiet and sees you off and just sort of sits where he is.
Yeah, I share this information with the rest of the group. Such a sad story with that guy.
Well, then I think it's clear what we need to do next.
Yeah. The depravity can't continue.
Something has to be done about it.
Yeah.
All right.
What time is it?
Early to, well, at this point, you guys have been hanging out for better part of an hour or two, so I'll say it's about 6, 7 o'clock. Starting to get into the evening hours.
My vote is let's just continue to have a good time tonight, rack out overnight, get a good long rest, and then head out tomorrow to go to Dane. Blackwing ain't going anywhere.
Solid plan.
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Done with that.
Well, as the evening spirals into a full-fledged gathering of souls just desperate for some kind of frivolity while in the midst of this rather drab and awful place. The music starts to trying to bring it back out of this creepiness. Hold on.
This is a real rager.
There you go. Nope. That didn't work. Hold on. Why didn't you save? Save you.
Save, gosh
there we
darn
go.
it.
That did it again.
Nope. Let's just pretend there's happy music.
Oh, I know why. I grabbed the wrong thing. There we go. Copy. There we go. Full-fledged frivolity. The women become boisterous and flirty. The men become happy-go-lucky, and there's a fight that breaks out. Sure, why not? A couple punches thrown. Somebody spills their drink all over. I would say, Sazaros, you earn another 20 silver and 10 gold. Actually, make its way into your mug. Axton, you are kind of just really interested in your new weapon as you kind of just sort of inspect every aspect of it, as most of it seems the same except the handle is a little greener, and there seems to be sort of like an etched vine that curls around the blade itself. Daunt, you're kind of making your way through the crowd, meeting people, talking to a couple of people that you talked to earlier, getting to know some people, asking them questions about where they come from, why'd they come here. At Gary, you're getting drunk at the bar and throwing mugs all over the place and spitting up in the air, and it's just been a crazy night overall, and you find yourselves growing slightly tired, and as the night begins to die down, and you make your way to your rooms to bed to take on the day tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and end the session there.
Yay!
Cool. Perfect.
Great. Thanks.
Great session.
Yeah, another great one.
Damn, boys!
That was
We
fun. That was a
survived.
lot of fun.
Yay!
You guys aren't dead.
We are so happy to be not dead.
Yeah.
I had some pretty good luck tonight.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Oh, you were on fire.
You were on
Honestly,
fire, literally in flames all over the place.
None of those rolls were attack rolls.
I know, not a single one. It was all ability checks and just like checking to see your surroundings. Yep, looks like a swamp. That's funny.
Yes, but he knew for sure that it was a swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never been sure of anything.
So pretty good rolls.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Talk to you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll be meeting back here on the 25th of September. This was a really great session. Again, you guys are really killing it. So I'll see you in a couple weeks. You guys have a good time off, and till we meet again, boys.
All right.
See you later. Thanks for running the game, buddy.
Yep.
I will